You did it too early. You did it way too early. There was no
Damn
sound
it.
yet.
Don't take my gag.
I'm sorry.
I chose to do it in the opposite order to what I usually do, so you just played yourself.
Aww.
But yes, we are live. So, last time around, it's Birds Far. Goku started. No, sorry, wrong game.
Hold on a
What did
second.
Goku do now?
You guys have been walking through the barren heath for quite a while so far. Been searching out a task given partially by the city of Homebrew to help them out, but mostly through Tachi, who has been, I wouldn't want to say allied, but you guys haven't quite associated yourself fully just yet, as you've been on the fence for quite a while, but currently are doing tasks for what is known as the Beast Tribes as of right now, ergo doing tasks for Tachi. You went through the barren heath to do 2 tasks. From what you know, the one place that you found, the underground lab type area that you found, that you 96.6%ed,
I was waiting for that.
was one of the tasks.
I hate you.
So you
But I have chocolate. so
pretty much
it's
almost
yeah.
completed that, but you did the specifications that you were asked to do in the area, so it counts, and then went eastward to find the other issue, which you met twice, in fact. The Defiler, as some information led to it being called, was found on 2 different locations. Once it ambushed you guys along with a bunch of nubai. Just during the night, while you're trying to have a nice calm rest, you are surrounded by small sandstorms and this one dude who apparently can cast magic and counterspell Killer Seal a few times and dispel to a bubble. Partially for shits and giggles and partially because it would have been amazing. But nevertheless, he was beaten up and sent flying as the last hit was not dealt with a proper type of damage. So, you tracked him down, found him again. When you did find him, he was apparently doing some sort of ritual in direction of a female Tasma in a cage who apparently was unconscious at the time. The ritual was disrupted by a prompt counterspell, because why wouldn't you have a wizard in a party that has counterspell without spamming the shit out of that wonderful spell? Upon which he decided to turn into a sand dragon. A fairly short, but almost deadly encounter ensued as the dragon had, well, it only had 2 turns, but it recharged its dragon breath and got a lot of people hit with its scorching sands. Killer Seal almost going down in 1 hit if it wasn't for the aid spell. You defeated the dragon in heroic fashion and disintegrated it mid-air. Before it even hit the ground, it was dissolved, let's say, by the radiant moon boon. You then decided to free the Tasma, who, weary as she was, as exhausted as she was, still put up way more of a fight than any of you had anticipated, and stole Kuyu back. Revealing that she apparently had been blocking you guys from attuning to Kuyu by being attuned to it herself, somehow. She proceeded to whoop you guys' ass. You sassed a bit back and forth, and apparently Killer Seal now has a new mortal enemy.
Why'd you have to speak 2 times?
Oh, and Kushma nearly killed Tempest.
Oops.
After the fight, you recuperated your losses. No one really died, but we saw a display of using too many spells to solve a single issue, as Midori had a little bit of a panic fit and cast too many spells, with basically 1 effect put together. You then went towards Corn's Exile and called upon Tachi, who, in a fit of mercy, let's call it, decided to teleport you guys straight to Corn's Exile, where we will start up next. A meeting seemingly has been called by Tachi for you guys to arrive at, but for the time being, you guys have been put up in some lodging and allowed to have one of the nearby buildings to just sleep it off. During which you leveled, so I hope you guys are done with that.
Yeah.
Ruth,
Yes, I am.
you get 1 more thing of your healing bolt. Don't forget.
What, eating light?
Yes,
Oh, I didn't put that in. Whoopsie.
it's okay.
I didn't know. I did everything else.
It was the most likely one for you to forget. It's okay.
You did incantation, you did spell level. You swapped out an old spell for a new one if you wanted to, etc, etc.
Yes.
You got this.
George, did you help her? Did you do
Nope.
it for her?
Nope.
Why
Yeah.
didn't you?
Got to
I
learn.
did it.
Great.
Does she have a healing spell that's not just her passive or her class feature?
I have, was it Cure Wounds?
Okay, it's something. Mr. Proud of you.
She had that last time as well. That's how she saved Tempest. No, wait, it
No.
wasn't. It was the way you were supposed to help Tempest, then she didn't. But then she did. So, anyway. You wake up the next morning in a fairly small room. Each of you in your own, except for Kellaseel and Tempest, who I imagine would insist on being in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of you wake up just in their small rooms. They appear to be sandstone type buildings. They're fairly well made, but clearly not meant per se to stay here forever. The entire city, as you walk outside through what appears to be a sort of beaded curtain, is actually fairly sturdy, but still appears like someone has orchestrated this entire thing to not be here for particularly long, and then realized along the way this place needed to be done up a bit. There are signs that some of the buildings have been built out of pretty shoddy material and have just been slammed together and put up, and then later have been reinforced and refined because this camp, as it were back then, had to stay here for way longer than intended. Looking around you as you step out, you're essentially on a long row at this point, as it seems like a I'm not gonna say guest house, but it seems like you stepped out a bunch of houses that aren't necessarily lived in per se, but are used. You step out and you find a few things that spring to mind. This would be the northeast in the camp, as in looking from the top part of the camp, looking down on the center of it, not from where you are, but in the top northeast part of it. There is a fairly straight, that's the wrong word, fairly sheer rock face that has a lot of water just washing over it. It's a waterfall of a fairly magnificent degree. If you stand at the right place, you imagine that you can also see a rainbow nearby it, but that's kind of hard to tell. It rushes down from a cliff face that is pretty high, pretty tall, and at the very top of it you are pretty sure that you can see what looks like a watchtower and someone either asleep up there or just really, really bored. The water from it rushes down onto and next to a building that has, by far most of it, appears to be made of wood. It might, to the trained eye, look like it's been built much more recent than any of the other buildings in the area, partially because it's made of wood and partially because it's not made of sand. The area is fenced off, about half and half when it comes to the waterfall's actual landing zone rather. There is a fenced off area, and about half of it is also a free area. The area beneath the water appears to be very shallow, as if the water just lands there and just doesn't go anywhere, or just simply returns to where it came from. You quickly get the idea that way too much water falls in this area for it to be this shallow of a water beneath it. It's like looking at a pool, for contrast. A very shallow pool. There are a couple of Tasmas and Tabaxi that are just currently bathing in that side of it, that unfenced part of it. It appears to be just a fairly normal occurrence that this happens in. You get the gist of it, that the fenced-in area with the wooden building is a bathing house of some description. It's open, like so many other things I hear, cause doors make things way too warm. You spot a few people moving around inside this wooden building, and you swear you catch the sight of some thing that looks awfully goat-like, that just doesn't fit in with the rest of the people here. Or at least preliminary judgment would say that to be the case. Looking north and eastward, you find a number of training areas, a number of relaxation areas, not arrows, but mostly to the north is the training part. There are a number of dummies and archery targets set up, and people seem to be just training, doing their thing. There's a lot of archery going on, but nothing that really catches your eye more so than anything else in that sort of vein would do. Those of you who are military trained, well actually, Uslia, You recognize this is a fairly normal case where they're just training. The rest of you, I believe, have no military training whatsoever. Because you're all different people. And to the east, you find the mainstay of the city. You have one large building that seems to loom over most of it. It appears to be fairly well made as well, perhaps magically so. And you get the gist, because of where you saw Tachi walk the previous night, that that's probably where she is, or where the officials / leaders of all this is. It is not unlikely at the very least. The city, between the east and about where you are and a bit to the west, has a number of buildings, and there are commerce here, as there are some trade routes that go back and forth. But you get the gist that this place is mostly for the beast tribes. Spotting the creatures around you, you mostly see the Tabaxi and the Tasma, which has a few, I want to say, sub-races to them, because Tasma as a rule is a mix of Tabaxis. But you also see what would be classified as Leonin, which is essentially a Tabaxi, but just instead of leopard-like, they're basically lion-like. In this case, they're the same type of people, they're just bulkier, bigger. But for the purposes of game, they're technically the same thing. They just are sub-races, quote-unquote.
The more hench.
Essentially.
I'm hench.
You see the muscles on that guy,
I'm
Kishma? He's huge!
This is bullshit.
She says that as one of them, the handful of minotaurs that live in the city, walks by in the distance.
Whoa! Look at him!
Massive hulking creatures with big horns sticking out of the head. It's
Oh.
a peculiar menagerie you have here. You also spot a few centaurs here and there.
Does anyone else feel out of place now?
No, not really, actually.
If I stand on my tiptoes and kind of hunch my shoulders forward a bit, I could be a minotaur maybe.
You're adorable.
Mm.
No? Okay.
You don't really have to
I
build
don't-
for it.
I can be strong. I'm gonna try and flex one of my muscles.
Roll me
One
a
flex is opposite direction.
Roll a flex check.
But she does have a -1, so I hope she rolls 10.
Am I rolling strength?
Sure.
Oh, I'm doing this, okay.
Okay.
It could
You didn't have that disadvantage.
break
would've been
my arm.
She's doing that thing where she puts her arms over her chest and actually puts the what's it called, the biceps up with a hand underneath it, just sort of making it look like there's way more muscle than there is.
Look at this.
Wow, that's... Wow.
My
Yeah,
muscles are bigger than yours usually. Haha.
bulky.
Say it again.
No.
Okay. Okay.
So we're going to speak to
Tachi?
Tachi, yeah.
Wait. God, I have a question about the day.
Did you just...
God.
Well, go on. What's your question?
I'm a bit confused. We fought the thingy on the 22nd, and on the 23rd we called Tachi in the morning, and I thought she teleported us in the morning. Did we stay here a night?
Yep.
Even though it was still morning. Okay.
Well, the idea with that was that you walked. Remember, you walked for a bit.
Oh, we did walk for a bit. Okay.
That's what I
Yeah,
remembered
we did.
anyway.
Yeah, we did.
We pushed that cart for a bit.
I thought we.
As
Yeah,
I
but
remembered it, you guys did all that, and you actually did stay the night, yes, in that one particular place, but then ended up walking for a bit, and then came to the conclusion that it would take way too long to push a cart across the desert without proper animals to carry it, and then you contacted Tachi and got
I'm
teleported.
pretty sure I contacted Tachi in the morning before I even summoned Neil. That's why she appeared during the summoning of Neil.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's
Well,
okay,
for the
we're
sake of the game, this is how it turned out. You were tired. You
Okay,
slept an entire
that's fair.
day.
Just so that I have my days correctly because of the Usolio problem.
When
We
is
still
the
have a
next
week.
Tuesday? Okay, we're fine then.
Yeah.
I mean, you
So
fit
it's
right
the
in.
23rd then, yeah?
It's the 24th.
24th.
You'd fit right in here in your doggo form.
She says, looking around at exclusively cats.
There's minotaurs.
Yeah, I'd fit right in, wouldn't I?
I mean, the Minotaurs are more like cows than dogs, so I'm not sure.
Can you make yourself look a bit more cattish?
You think I have control over what it looks like?
I don't know.
Do you?
My minor religion pair of cat ears on his head.
Thank you. I was looking for
Oh, I'm gonna like go and tickle the cat ears. Look at
Yeah, your
him.
hand goes right through them because they're not real.
Oh, fuck.
You get one, Tempest. You get one.
It's hard to take you seriously with those ears on your head. They went down and like back when you said that. Can you give him a tail? I'm whispering this to Tim. Just don't tell him, he won't notice.
Do I hear this?
Well, yeah, she's right in front of you. You all together.
No, I was whispering it to Tempest.
No, I was whispering.
Well, just for the sake of it, we'll have a performance check from Midori and a perception from Muslia.
But isn't Tempest the one doing it?
No, you're whispering.
You have to whisper it to
Oh.
him. That's
Oh.
the point. Tempest will have to do a sleight of hand if he's trying to hide that he's doing it, but last time he just did it.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Wow.
Yeah, no, you didn't hear it. Just walks up and whispers to Tempest. You didn't hear.
Tempest.
Hmm?
Can you give him a tail?
That's the thing about Bad Illusion. I don't know if I can do multiple ones at the same time. Let me double check.
We can get rid of the ears, just
Just
give him
get
a
rid of
tail.
the ears, please.
See, wait, I didn't think I could do that. I think they're just there for a minute.
It's just a minute, man. Don't stress it.
Okay. Why am I blind? Why can I not see my own spell list? There it is.
Yeah, it's just there for a minute and vanishes.
Like I said, you get one.
One what?
He knows.
Oh, yeah, I would never. I would never do anything like that. Don't worry. Totally fine, man. 25 sleight of hand.
Muslia perception.
But he won't see the tail, it's behind him.
Nobody might see the cast.
Like the only thing he could get to beat me.
Well, he could have rolled a 19 as well.
Like, one of the
18 would have been
things-
sufficient.
And an
as well.
18 would be fine.
What a great start to a session.
You see him cast this again. You see him repeat cast that mana illusion.
What did I say, Tempest?
I'm
He was getting rid of it.
kidding. I am just kidding. Come on, man.
Fight,
There's nothing.
fight.
There's
It's
nothing
not
here.
even right. It's a cat tail.
Would you want a dog tail instead?
Would have been more
When I
fitting.
saw
wouldn't
him
it?
look, when I saw him notice, I stopped.
I'd love to see if it wags, but you're always grumpy, so it probably wouldn't, would it?
Can we please just go see Tachi now?
So, guys, are we gonna go or what? We just I
I'm
don't know
walking.
what we're doing.
We're just gonna piss about in the street.
Don't
It's
piss
nice
in
to
the
be
street.
strict performers.
And I had a rough day yesterday. I need to let off some steam.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Yesterday was horrible. Let's like have a laugh. Even you're allowed to laugh, Ursula.
Huh.
That was creepy. Don't do that again.
Okay, don't laugh.
Right, business. Let's go.
I know that's not his real laugh.
His real life just.
We'll make him laugh one day. We've just got to figure out what tickles his funny bone.
So, as you head towards the eastern part of the city, you walk by the massive lake that is basically the northern part of this location. It's pretty big, actually, and it does seem to be completely apart from that waterfall, which does strike all of you as a little bit odd, but there's a demigod in the city currently, so who fucking knows what is real at this point. You walk past it and get to that fairly large building. There's nothing too showboaty about it, nothing extremely ceremonial or some such. But it does have a symbol over the door that none of you recognize, except Midori, who really should recognize it, but knowing the character and knowing Ruth, she would look at the symbol and go, "Oh, that looks familiar."
What, can you describe it to me?
Yes, it is Tachi's symbol. It is a heart surrounded by a set of wings.
Yeah, I know that symbol.
Which, for record, has changed since the last time the rest of you saw Tachi's symbol. You saw it on that casket long ago, drawn by Linda, but it was different.
Where there was something
Yeah.
snake related, right?
Yes.
There was a snake around the heart.
Yeah,
It was the lamia part wrapped around the
Yeah.
heart. It changed, but she changed.
she's changed it a little bit, but that makes sense, I guess.
So you walk in, and are greeted with a single individual who seems to be just sitting on a chair, waiting, bored, feet up against the wall, the chair's mostly slanted backwards like she could fall over at any moment. Just bored out of her mind. And of course I lost the page where she's on. There she is. The Tasma that you see has tiger-like colors. She's looks like she's pretty young, but at the same time, most of what you see about her seems like she's an archer of some description. She has massive, weird... It's like javelins on her back. Well, not on, technically it wouldn't be on her back, they would be sort of slanted off to the side, almost falling off of the chair. And they appear like a massive javelin, but Kushma carries around javelins. Those don't look like that. It's strange. She has a couple of what looks like wooden stakes on her hip that's just dangling to the floor currently. They look massive, very heavy, and not really that good for fighting. It appears like someone has taken some kind of melee weapon and just made it bad. It's a very strange ensemble. And for those of you in chat, here is a picture of this person. Kalasil, from what you've heard, you do recognize this woman. You've heard her described by your friend Timber on a couple of occasions. The mostly human in her body, just in general. She has the human face, cat ears, by the looks of things, as she is a Tasma. Long orange tail just sort of swings beneath the chair, like she's just, you know, waiting. There is a surprising amount of flexibility to her, as she seems to be slumped over this chair like she's made of water. It's a curious sight altogether. The clothing that she's wearing is similar to that on the picture, that red coat that mostly is cut off just below the chest, so her stomach is out most of the time. You guess it's because of the ridiculous heat that is in this desert at all times. But nevertheless, because it looks pretty awesome. She does acknowledge that you get inside this room, but she just tilts back and forth in this chair, like it's a rocking chair, just kind of waiting. A little bit of time will pass in this area as she's just sitting there waiting. The rest of you enter.
John, I assume that's Storm.
Yes.
Hello?
She leans over the chair, almost tilting her head upside down. Hello there. So you're the new ones?
Yes.
Well, welcome to the city. I suppose you're here to talk with Tachi then.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk with Mum.
Oh.
Well, he says and just spins around the chair, almost flinging it to the ground while she stands up.
Ooh.
That sounds interesting. I am Storm of the Holy Eye. And I suppose that would make you the Shiny Sue.
Raiden Menagerie.
Yes, that's our name.
Yes, the shiny
David's
things.
face twitches every time he hears that.
Something up. Useless, just looking away.
What are you looking at?
That's the Shiny Sue, is it? That's so interesting. I'm happy to have met you. But
You should
Mom.
pronounce that.
as you put it, is kind of busy at the moment. We've both been waiting for a while.
What's she busy with?
As it turns out, a new threat has appeared, and it turns... Well, it's got a lot of attention as of late. Kind of
What
boring.
is it?
Yeah, what
I
kind of
can't
stuff?
tell you.
Oh.
You'll have to figure that out yourself. By the way, whilst
it-
he's been talking, he's not been looking around particularly much. He's looking at Ursula with this strange wonderment, like he's trying to figure out what he is.
I'm gonna look at Ursula, then back at her, then back at Ursula, then at myself, then at her.
She's on a horse.
Yes.
When did that happen?
I don't know, when Neil came in.
Why are you looking at him like that?
It's not often you see someone who looks as strange as him.
What did you say?
Which one of us?
John.
It's not often you see someone who looks as strange as him.
I mean,
He's the strange one.
have you seen us?
Well, she starts pointing at different people. You look kind of like Tachi, she says, pointing at Killer Seal. Points at Kushma. You look like many of us, so yeah.
Actually fair.
Points at Midori. You look like our Minotaurs, but smaller. Can't really say that's
Yeah.
too strange around here.
I guess that makes sense.
What about the wet one?
Points
What
at Tempest.
boy?
You look like the tribe of water.
What? There's a thing about this?
Then what does...
Well,
What
thing
about
is,
Neil?
there's a bunch of tribes, and he actually is. He looks like he could come from one of those. I'd be surprised if he doesn't have anyone who, in that particular part of the world, can't give him some information about his lineage or some shit.
That's
So-
definitely a conversation we need to have.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You might want to talk to Alenki.
A Linky, okay. So what
He
do you
says
think
at
Ursula
Tempest
is?
specifically.
How do you spell that?
Oh, I was about
Yeah,
to
I'm right.
misspell it. That would have been funny.
Because everything has to have an. This is fantasy
Oh,
world.
thank
Everything
you.
has to have an apostrophe in it.
Damn it!
Ellen Key.
Alenki.
It's like Allen Key, but
Yeah. So, wait, what do you think
Where
Ursula
is
is then? I'm
Ellen Key?
curious.
One question
Sorry.
at a time, please.
Yes, sorry.
Where do we find a Lenky?
Well, she's the leader of the tribe of water, so you'll most likely find her on the southern coast somewhere. Let us still be on the northern part. It's hard to tell. They do have a couple of stations here and there. And as for your friend, he's not human, he's not an elf. He's sort of a mix between it. That's kind of strange.
Well, you hit the nail on the head there.
What?
Do you eat gravel for breakfast?
No, he's just a little horse.
So,
No, that was deadly.
Comes with the age.
but the horse part or the gravel?
No, his voice is hoarse.
She just looks at you with a blank stare. I don't get it.
He's got a croaky voice. It's his character.
I don't... Okay. Anyway. Sure.
He's just a dude.
Bye. Just leaves.
I mean,
well,
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Just sort of
Yeah.
looks around at you like, you guys are crazy, then leaves.
When will Tachi be receiving us?
Don't say that.
I don't know.
Should I?
Should we wait?
Oh, guys, I have a cool new spell. I could
What?
use it.
Could you
what
tell
is-
us what it does for us?
This here.
What does
this
it
can't be
do?
good.
Put it in chat.
It's not going to kill us.
No.
Honey, you don't have the ingredients for that.
Oh
It's a
shit.
lot of money.
Oh.
All of our gold. Good
I'm gonna just sit on the floor and start attempting to pray really hard to try and get Tachi's attention.
I mean, you know, I could just send her a message.
Dude, let me try.
Okay.
has Storm walked off at this point?
Yep.
Okay.
Just walked out the front. Like, I'm done.
Do you think she could tell what you were?
I doubt it.
Do they have like can they sense that shit?
Can they smell it?
You might smell like wet dog to her.
I mean, I don't know. What do I smell like?
I'm gonna sniff him.
What
I,
dog?
sniff him. I also sniff him.
Everyone crowds around and sniffs Usually.
Luna as
Oh,
well.
stop.
Considering you haven't had a bath in months, who knows? Sweaty dog? Sweaty man dog?
Smells
Luna
like
wrinkles her nose.
It's an acquired smell.
It's one of the cases where Luna just flies straight to the floor, almost like a nose dive, and just covers her nose with the paws.
Oh.
Maybe you should have a bath later.
Hey, I'm not the only one that's gonna smell like shit.
I know, but I think because of your doggishness, it might
Oh,
accentuate
sure.
the smell.
Yeah.
Wait, how do I smell? Everyone smell me.
Are you going to really do this?
I smell
I
Dorothy.
lift up my arms.
Oh.
Reeks as well. You've all been in a very warm desert for ages and haven't taken a bath in ages.
I smell like roses.
Could you do that to me as
Sweaty
well?
More
roses.
specifically, you smell like a human that hasn't had a bath in ages. Your clothing smells of roses.
Like,
Damn it!
so we're like, ooh.
Yep.
It's like when someone just puts on deodorant but they haven't washed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just you can't target humanoids with that spell. You can target
Okay.
dead things. So you can
Since-
mask it.
Okay, can I make a suggestion? Since apparently Midori has given up on her praying, should I just send Tachi a message and tell her when she's ready for us and we can maybe take a bath in the meantime?
Yeah, that
Would be
might
nice to take
be
a bath.
longer than what I'm
We can
trying
have a look
to do.
around as well.
No, you need a bath. I know dogs don't
Well-
like baths, but you need a bath.
And I
Yeah,
need
that
a lot
too.
of ingredients for my spells.
That too, yeah.
Yes.
Wait. I'm gonna send a message to Tachi. Hi, we are in your house. When do you have time for us? Should we take a bath before that? Midori says hi. Miss you.
Okay. There is no return message. But a few moments later, you do hear some large wing flaps outside at the front door, and you get the idea that she jumped out of the window and just flew down to the front door as she walks inside. It's wonderful to see all of you. Hello, darlings.
Don't smell us. We smell.
Bonjour.
Good
So to answer
day.
that question, yes, you should probably take a bath. I can recommend the bathhouse. It's actually pretty good, and it's overseen by a fellow that you probably would get a lot of fun out of. So,
his
about our
name?
meeting.
Okay.
We'll get to
sure.
that. About our meeting, it'll be a good few hours, maybe. I'm working on a project. Going on a break. He says, looking around with sort of shifty eyes. Totally not impromptu. But do come back in, let's say, a couple of hours. Enjoy the city while you can, while you have the time for it, and we'll have a little chat.
Will do.
Okay.
Is there any other places of note that we should know of?
There are a couple of things that you can do here. If you want to go help out the city a little bit, you can go fishing. There are always people here who want some fish. It's surprisingly, well, I guess unsurprisingly, a very popular dish. If you want to train a bit of, what should we call it? Battle theory? Want to train some feats? There are places you can go to do that. If you just want to have a good run around a course made for training your agility, so to speak, your dexterity, you can go to one of them as well. Some people have been calling it a ninja course. I disagree, as we don't have ninjas here. They're mostly around Janaris. That's what I've been told, anyway.
There are ninjas in Yanaris?
You lived in that part of the world, didn't you? And you don't know the two styles they specify in?
That's just how good they are at their job.
I was gonna say.
I never
Also,
saw
what's the
one.
ninja?
Or heard about one.
I mean, to be fair, you are Midori.
Oh, thanks. Wait, hey.
You forget her superpower.
What's my superpower?
Forgetful.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm gonna go. Yeah. I just go and stand in the corner.
Facing the wall.
Yep, Blair Witch style.
Gross.
Why is that
Well, I
gross?
certainly do love to fish.
Not done. There is also those of you who have magic capabilities. I could actually use your help in the project that's going on. And I'll give you a bit of information about that. It will require by far most of your magical acumen for this particular day, but nevertheless. And if you really want to learn a few things, we do have a bit of history lying around this place. Not that much, but still some. So you can learn a bit of history about these people.
So tell me about that project.
I imagine that you would love to take part of that. It's actually... It's fairly complicated, and honestly I'd prefer that I did not discuss this out and about in a room that potentially could be scryed upon. So,
That's
let's
fair.
go upstairs, where the...
Can I bathe before that?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
I'll meet you guys, let's say 2 hours from now. Just be back here and either send me a message or, well, yell. It's just upstairs, I can hear it. The windows aren't made of glass or anything. So, just shout loud enough and I'll hear it.
Okay, we'll be back in 2 hours then. And then we can also talk about the wish.
Yes, we have lots to discuss.
Wait.
But I recommend if you want to take a bath, go have a chat with Lycus. He's the satyr that runs both the inn and the bathhouse. Well, he
How do I
owns them.
spell it?
What was his name? Sorry.
Lycus.
Let's see.
Ding 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 ding. Medora got
yay!
it, and Kushma got it.
Hell yeah.
I was
Like-
gonna basically do that, but I was gonna put an H in it.
Nope, just Lycus.
Like Lycan, but with us.
Just looks at you. Looks over at Ursula. I guess. Coincidence, though. Anyway, I'll see you in 2 hours. Bye.
Bye.
Turns around, steps back outside, unfolds her massive wings, and with a couple of beats of her wings, first of all, a minor sandstorm is kicked up around her, and second of all, she disappears upstairs.
Bye. Oh shit, she's gone.
Sandy teeth.
Tepes hits the deck when he sees the sandstorm again.
Ugh.
So, bath time?
Bath time.
It's bath time.
Yep.
Come on, Ursula, time for your bath.
Yes.
Do you actually not like baths?
I mean,
Is that canon?
I couldn't care less about bathing or not, but if I stink, I stink.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it if you smelled a bit better.
Sure. Let's go take a bath.
You walk over towards the bathing house. On your way, you pass a small inn. It's fairly close to where the bathing house is, but not in such a fashion that you could be at the inn and then staring over at that open section of the bathing house. It's on opposite sides. Nothing really is on that open side of it. It seems like that's a deliberate design choice in this area. But nevertheless, you pass the inn, which, in case someone's wondering, is called the Watering Hole.
That's nice. Don't.
What the fuck, Vicky?
Nothing. Everything's fine.
Well, technically it's water hole, not water ring. That's my bad. Just water hole.
Oh,
Okay.
That's a typo. I'm not actually sure now I'll say it, because it's supposed to be the watering hole in my mind, and then I saw it was written, I was like, which do I like best? Let's stick
Just
with
this
watering
time
hole.
for my notes.
hey guys, how do you spell hole?
Joey.
Are you serious?
Without a W.
H-O-L-E.
Ah!
What were you writing?
H-O-O-L.
H-O-O-L?
The watering hole.
I love having good English skills.
That depends. Are we talking hole as in hole in the ground, or hole like complete? Because one has a W.
Hole.
Yeah.
Hole. I got
There's
it.
anything in the ground.
Hole.
Yes. So water or watering now?
Watering.
Okay.
Screw my
Changing
notes. I
it
changed my
again.
notes. It's supposed to be watering.
Watering hole.
Somebody's poisoned the watering hole.
I hope not.
You walk past that towards the bathing house. Fairly, as mentioned, fairly well-built wooden structure compared to all these sandstone type buildings that are around you. As you get closer, you notice that fenced off area of it appears to be in segments as well, and actually is pretty well built and quite sturdy as well. The wood that's been used for this is surprisingly thick. And before anyone asks, no, it is quite tall, you cannot peek. You walk into the building itself, a big, fairly square building that is mostly empty. There are a couple of tables here and there, and some fairly small stools. More the type of you sit on them, and if you're like me, a quite tall person, you'll feel like you're sitting on the ground, but you won't be. It'll just be weird. They seem like areas where they're just supposed to chill if you so desire, or if the bathing house should be overflowing with people, then you can sit there and wait until there's space. But you do notice that there are a couple of people walking in and out. It appears to be mostly just Tasma that are in here. You do spot a couple of tabaxis as well, as some of them leave as you're about to get there. And on occasion, you'll spot what seem to be couples just walking arm in arm and just chatting, you know, just having a chill day. You walk in and find that there is a section of it that seems to be completely unrelated to those two areas that you've seen so far, and by your estimate it would have to go into that sheer cliff that you've been seeing so far, and you're guessing that's probably where all the valuables, clothing, etc. is being stored. It essentially goes straight ahead of where you were looking. There's a sliding door that is in the way of it, but nevertheless you get a peek in as some people are just, you know, preparing to actually go into the water. When you enter, I was about to say Minotaur, that'd be wrong. The satyr that is in the area does turn almost at attention and looks directly at you guys. It's a quite jovial looking individual. It appears to be female, judging by the fact that it has a chest and a chest band in front of it. Quite bushy legs, as satyr has a tendency to have this dichotomy in the way that it looks. The upper part of it appears mostly like a beautiful elf-type creature with a long set of horns that curve backwards, while from the hips and down, look more bestial in the sense that it's a hooved set of legs with a lot of fur on them. And a fairly nice skirt. Looks like it's been crafted with care. Kinda strange. But nevertheless, this individual looks around you guys. So, what would you like to bathe yourself in today? I've heard that we had guests, and it's so exciting to see you here.
You like us?
No.
It's your acquaintance.
Like it is male ones that keeps in the tavern, I merely work here.
Oh, okay. What's your name?
Lynn,
Lynn?
we are from the same clan, from when you came in from the Feywild.
Your full name isn't Linda, is it?
No, that would be Linda. I'm of course only kidding. My name is Lynn. And it was indeed Midori that spelled it correctly again.
Wow.
You're on a roll.
I am.
I didn't type it, but I was right.
Yeah, so we stink. We have a bath.
That is of course unfortunate, and of course you can. There is no particular pay or anything that you need to do up front. I merely need you to sign this, that you can be proven to have been here this particular day. And then you can go deliver your valuables into the room over there, where it of course will be kept safe. Partially by a magic field attuned to you, partially because if anything disappears from here, we normally know exactly from who it was taken, and it is very likely that we will know who to go to.
Is this place griffin-sized?
Excuse me?
Is this place griffin-sized?
Griffins?
Griffin.
No.
Oh, so you want your animals gens as well? No. The outside might be better for that, but that is really not something that we do here. There is a lake for that.
Neela told you you need to wait outside. No.
Okay. Backs out.
Hmm.
So sits outside waiting like a dog.
No, don't make this sound so sad.
So, would all of you like to have the best?
Oui.
Yes, please.
Do you have
Wonderful.
towels?
You won't need them in the seat.
I kind of want a towel. It's okay.
If that is
Are you-
unusual.
Are you a little self-conscious, Kushba?
Kushma,
Oh,
here,
you mean
take this.
for... I see. Right. There are certain adornments that you can wear if you are embarrassed about your micro penis.
No. Hey, what the fuck are you talking about?
She
No,
says while grinning very mischievously.
we've taken a bath before. I just want something for my head.
Tempest
Oh,
almost gets
your
four when she
head.
says that.
Which head?
Fuck off!
Oh,
No,
dude,
but-
please.
Yeah, fuck the towel. It's fine.
Don't do that.
No,
Oh.
I'm not catching it. Let's just get right.
It
Come on.
wasn't me this time.
I'm just gonna let it go. I like your humor.
Yes, that is wonderful. You'll fit right in here.
Yay.
But if you would like to keep your private parts to yourself, there are adornments that you can wear. They are available and they are always washed after someone has been using them. There are male and there's female parts if you do not want to be naked. Enjoy.
You talking about the speedo?
Sort of. Kind of, yes.
Midori's now picturing Kushba.
No,
in
no,
speedos.
don't do it.
Oh my. Whatever. Let's just go inside.
Wonderful. Just sign here first.
Signing.
I'm reading what I'm signing very carefully.
You are responsible for your own death. What?
Just sign.
It's not so much signing a contract or a piece of paper or some such like that. It's literally just a bunch of names and a massive row in a fairly table-like setup. It's just people who have put down their name as in, I was here this day. There's
Oh,
nothing
so it's
more
like
to
a
it than that.
sign-in timetable sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like one of those guest books that are left at hotels, stuff like that. You just put in your name like, I was here on this date. It was fun.
Can I
or
make an
something.
arcana check that there's nothing hidden on there?
It's a bathhouse.
You can, yes. You can.
They just say Tempest has already signed it.
23.
It is magical. It is enchanted.
What's that enchantment on this?
It's a fairly simple one that keeps the book from deteriorating around water.
That makes
That
sense.
sounds smart.
I know.
I kind of want to take 11 minutes to check that.
I can't wait.
Lynn
But
just
I'm
looks at you,
still-
just scowls at this point at you like, are you serious?
No. That was my mother talking. I'm signing.
Okay. You just put your
Yes,
name down,
signed.
nothing much happens. So those are you sign in order, whichever order doesn't really matter particularly much. And simply go retrieve whatever privacy adornments that you would like, if any of you even care. You put just the valuable stuff in this. It appears like a locker type thing, but it's more like a safe. You close the little door and a small magical field appears in front of it. You put your hand against it and your own goes straight through it, but if someone else tries to touch your particular safe, they can't penetrate that magical barrier.
Oh, that's neat.
That's cool.
Your stuff?
Oh.
Put it away. You have two options. You can either go in one of the fenced areas, or you can just go out and about.
Certainly don't carry it away, but I assume some of you are more modest.
Yeah, we've known each other that long now. I don't know if I care that much.
Yeah, it's not too big of a deal. You know.
To keep in
Where are we
mind,
going,
the
guys?
question is fenced area together or open area where everybody can see you.
Usually already walked into the fence area.
Fence
Yeah,
there.
I'll follow him to the
Okay.
area then.
Guess we're
We'll go
going
in the
there.
fence. Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying, on the ship, I spent most of my life. You see a lot of things, so my idea of modesty is not non-existent.
We know.
All seen it.
There.
Okay. So you walk into one of these fenced off areas, and it is surprisingly warm as well. But depending on where you are in this particular place, it appears like the different sections of this fenced-in area, and you get the idea that this is something that happens for all of the areas, the temperature of the water actually changes depending on where you are. There is a fairly circular shape to it all, but it's clearly marked off with very subtle stone changes. It's not like as in red stone, yellow stone, but as in there's a different coloration to the stones as they're all going all around. It appears like some of them maybe have been polished or some such. But you can sit different places to achieve different degrees, essentially. So you sit down, and you can have a pretty nice, just relaxing time and have a bath.
I'm gonna give myself a. Wait, are there bubbles?
Want bubbles.
Not much, no, but the waterfall is falling into the area that you're in. Not as on top of you, but in the area, so some of them are just foam, I guess, being pushed up by the water.
I'm gonna make myself a foam beard.
Okay, it is achieved. In stark contrast to your skin color.
You look very, very weird with a beard, I got to say.
Hi, I'm Ursula.
Is it theoretical for me to use shape water to make the beard even bigger?
Oh.
Sure. It's a little bit strange and it becomes very thin foam, but it works.
I'm going full beard. I'm going full dwarf on this. It's a big bushy beard.
A great big bushy beard.
Okay.
Hmm.
Is it beautiful?
You
It-
look magnificent.
It looks like a beard.
You look very, very dwarven. If that makes
Cool.
sense. Yeah, we. Also, as a side note, I don't think I've described this to the group before, but Killer Seal has a huge tattoo on her upper torso. Going from her back, her shoulder blades, where her wings are, just underneath that, you see a tattooed set of wings in light blue wrapping around her upper body and hugging her front.
Holy shit, you have ink.
Wait,
Since
You
when?
ha-
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. I mean, yeah, you totally got that too.
Hold the phone. So,
Oui.
okay, why do you have that?
well,
That's a hard
Also
question,
like-
sorry.
we.
Yeah.
I mean, it is part of me.
That makes sense.
Wait, you were born with it?
I don't know. Things Vicky hasn't thought about.
It's a
Things
mystery.
Vicky should have thought about.
Well, time to
Wait.
decide.
Where's your artist?
Yes,
I want to make.
Need
We
to curb them.
to be honest,
Ruth Young Art,
yeah.
she made it for me.
Well, I've had them since I can remember. Those are also. I mean, I think you've seen me having my full set of wings before. Those
Yeah.
where the
If you
second
can.
pair of wings came from.
Hmm.
It makes sense.
Somehow I never made that connection.
Wait, have you not seen them before?
I have. I mean, what? Goes underwater.
Get your head out of
That's
there.
a lot of fun to be seen from down there.
Jeez, Tempest, what the fuck are you doing? Privacy.
I'm gonna use my tail to cover all places.
You're tiefling, your tail is thin as shit.
The end of it isn't.
Oh, I see.
I used the color of clothing and suddenly I'm wearing a bikini.
Has anyone?
You kept that with you?
I still have that,
Hey,
yeah.
that's actually pretty smart, not gonna lie.
Fair play. Has anyone else got any tattoos they want to share?
You don't really get them on this. It doesn't work. It kind of gets covered like within days. So
I mean, I'm pretty basic, and he just points to an anchor on his arm.
I mean, that checks out.
expected.
I want a tattoo now. You sir, have you got anything cool?
At this point, you just kind of see Usler. He just found a spot where he's able to just lean and like not really take mind of what you lot are saying, but you can see. You've seen originally that he had like these like blackish veins around his neck, but now you can see them a bit more predominantly around like the arms and the chest. These like where like normal veins would be like bluish in color. These are like black almost. And his body is just riddled with like scars, bite marks, claws, puncture wounds, all different manners.
I mean, the
But
scars
he's
make
currently
sense.
just chilling.
Scars make sense, but what's with all that? I know you have them on your neck. What have they gotten? Has that spread?
Dude, you've got varicose veins, man. Be careful.
No, it's part of the let's say the process of becoming what I am. The things that they did to me.
What did they do?
Well, they've basically experimented with my body to an extent, which is why I look like this.
You know, I'm actually kind of curious. How long ago did all this stuff happen? Cause you're like a old guy now, right? It's been quite a bit.
I'm not that old.
Not old for an elf.
You're like 100, man. That's.
I mean, yeah, it seems pretty old.
And I'm literally a tenth of how old you are.
You're 10
What?
years old.
It would be about.
Tempest, I think we need to rethink our relationship with this.
I'm 18.
He's good at maths like I'm good at spelling.
Wait, so how old were you, Ursula?
It must have been about 40, 50 years ago, maybe.
So you would have been. I can't do the maths.
Like 60 somethings.
Around that.
Don't get me wrong, it's not bad. It looks pretty badass. I just didn't know it travelled that far down.
Well, I don't just turn from my neck now, do I?
That makes sense.
No.
Right.
That's true.
I'm gonna splash the wall with my tail and try and like splash everyone. 'Cause it's funny.
I cover my head. Careful, jizz.
Usually you missed a bit. You got a little something on your face.
Anyway, Medalia, if you were to get a tattoo, what do you think you'd want?
Which is funny talking to her about because she does have one.
I do have a tattoo.
Did you forget about your tattoo?
I mean, it's in a place that I don't tend to see. So
Where is it?
Remember back at Lake Adore when she was given the resistance buff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm
Where on your body is it?
I'm trying to remember. It's either a tramp stamp or it's on my butt.
It's
feel you as a
essentially a
tramp
tramp stamp but in the front. I'm not sure what that's called.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh, it's one of those.
And what does it look like?
Touches mark.
The old one.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was the old one. No.
It was,
Okay.
but it changed with Tachi.
Oh,
Ooh.
It's directly
different.
bound to her magical powers. So, considering it is an
explains-
enchantment as well, it is directly tied to that.
That explains the stinging.
Let me know if you could have a different tattoo, what would it be?
I'm gonna
I
quickly
cover
lower-
Tempest eyes.
Yeah, I'm gonna lower myself back into the water. Like, yeah, I forgot about that one. Maybe I could get one. Like of 4-foot Sam or something, like a little wolf somewhere. That
Like a
would be
puppy.
cute.
When Calathea lets go of my eyes, I'll minor illusion a little puppy on her arm.
Oh, that's cool.
You
Oh,
should
it's
get
like a
one.
preview. That's cool.
Well, if we find a tattoo artist, maybe I'll get something cool. Or maybe I could get something like of the Kirin or something. That'd be cool.
It'd be nice. You have like 2 sugar daddies / mummies. It's kind of a weird situation.
I really wish you'd stop calling them that.
I don't know what to call them apart from that.
I mean, the Kirin's not
Patrons?
exactly.
Patrons.
Yeah, that's it.
That she does work kind of well. Thinking about it.
I mean, I wouldn't say the Kirin's really a sugar mummy / daddy. I don't. It just kind of is there. Doesn't say much.
But they have your back, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Tempest just swims over to Calathea and just leans next to her.
No.
I'm gonna blow bubbles in the water.
I'm going to clean myself. That's what I came here to do.
I'm just having fun.
had
Splish
to do that
splash, I was
without that.
taking a bath.
I'm sitting quite awkwardly with my wet wings in the thing in the water.
Fucking wings.
If I'd known we would have taken a bath, we probably should have prepared ourselves to make the better for water.
You know, it's my natural habitat.
Well, must be nice for you again to be in water, especially after our trek through the desert.
Almost literal hell for me.
We
Yeah, you must have been dehydrated as shit. Also, Midori's like doing that thing where you go underwater and like put your hands together and poke them above water and she's pretending to be a shark.
She's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
are you checking Ursula out, Midori? Is that why
No!
you're on the water?
No!
No, oh, you meant Midori. No.
Usually it just kind of just opens one eye, gives her the single stink eye. Just goes back to relaxing.
I think the giggle, the giggle means yes.
No!
A bit of time passes with you guys chilling in the water. Not too much, but you start noticing that while you guys are just having a nice time chilling in the water, you do hear... my voice. You do hear other voices around you as well. Most of them are muffled, just kind of quiet, chatting away. Some of them clearly not chatting. Just sort of an ambiance in the background. As Tempest apparently makes that noise.
I'm gonna like keep an ear out for anything interesting.
Oh my god, and then I just totally told him that that's just not gonna happen. You hear from one of the nearby.
I see what you do.
Oh, like who are they talking?
They were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
They were roommates.
I just want one, and there was no way.
Nothing of note apart from gossip.
Not particularly. But you can roll me a perception check.
I'm wondering if anyone's like staring at us or anything.
Well, they can't. Everything is fenced off.
Yeah.
We have privacy.
Perception. 19.
Which is funny, by the way, because my initial thought of how this would be designed, actually had a few centimeters of air beneath the fences. Then I realized that's a bad idea.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah. 19.
19. Okay. There's a lot of just gossiping around. You hear some moans in the background, just people,
Whoa.
doing whatever. But what catches your ear, not your eye, your ear, is some people seem to be gossiping about a particular rumor. The fact that a very powerful Tasma recently has emerged and apparently is on the loose. The gossip goes mostly just in that direction, and they just speculate, oh my god, maybe Corin's back. No, it can't be Corin. Corin's dead. Just rumors essentially going back and forth about not too much of value. You know most of what it is, but yeah, it's that.
I'm gonna just quietly reiterate that to the group. They know about what's her face, Zaya.
You mean the bitch?
Yes.
Okay.
Apparently she's a powerful Tasma, but we already knew that.
No shit.
Oui.
So, but how did they hear about that?
Maybe from Tachi? Maybe when Tachi
No, no.
informed Storm?
Maybe she's here already.
I mean, we got teleported. We were really quick.
Yeah, but
Oui.
what's to say she can't do that?
Exactly.
She could be right here, right now. She could be in the pool, and I'm gonna dive.
And she's checking out Isolde again.
The pool isn't
No, that's-
particularly big. Well, it's fairly broad, but it's not that deep. It's fairly shallow. So when you do that, you're about to smack your face straight into the bottom of it, unless you go to the slightly deeper part.
you just see my feet poke out of the water. Boom.
I tickle her toes.
As do I.
Puppy. That was a great sound.
Not in the pool. We're safe. What if she's like Linda? What if she has bird spies?
I think you're being a bit paranoid.
Well,
As she should be.
she nearly killed us.
Okay, but yeah, does she teleport? I don't
I-
think. I really
she
hope she
might.
doesn't actually.
What if that meeting Tachi's having is with her?
I don't think so.
Okay, don't get things in my head, please. That thought is terrifying.
I plop Luna out and then wash her a bit. And then I pop her back in the bubble.
You pop out and she immediately tries to escape.
No. That's for your own good. Just a bit. I just quickly put her in the water and rinse her a bit.
Basically grab her by the side and she's like, no, help me! Trying to grab her neighbors on the side. No!
I'm just imagining when you sometimes lower dogs into water, they already start paddling before they go in.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna get Sam out, mate. You wanna learn to swim?
You pop him out and he immediately just walks straight to the side of the pool, sits down, and starts plopping with the water,
Do
just
not
going
let
tap,
him-
tap, tap. Splishy splash.
Oh.
That's cute as hell.
Come swim
I
to
mean-
me, swim to mummy.
Up, sploosh.
See, Luna. For feet Sam enjoys it.
Swim to
She's just if you're still holding her, she's just hanging there with her wings just slumped down, her feet just dangling, just like completely miserable.
Oh, it will be better. It's cold. Trust me. It can be warm. Come on. You want to be in the warm area? Here, plop.
Just plop, and she just sort of sinks to the bottom of it for a moment, then starts swimming her way up, using her wings surprisingly adeptly to actually swim. rather,
Oh,
Mhm.
you're doing such a good job. See,
to
was
the
that
direct
bad?
opposite side of the pool.
There's a
Voila.
point. As I just suddenly thought,
Mhm.
when cat's fur gets wet, they look really fucking scary. How does Kushmar look right now?
Everything but my head has been underwater, so everything's just spiky.
Can you stick your head underwater? I want to see what you look like.
I don't want to put my head underwater.
Please.
I really don't want to do that.
You know
Don't
what
tempt
to do.
I just start swirling a ball of water in my hand with shape water. Just
No.
Wait.
I really don't want water on my head. Don't do it. I swear to God.
Oh boy, Krishma, I'm not going to do the hair meal. When do you get here?
What? Wait! What did you do?
I'm pointing behind him.
I don't want to turn.
I minor illusion the image of his girlfriend.
Oh, look who's here.
You're fucking with me, I know it.
But do you?
Look behind me for a second.
Shape water drop on his head.
No!
Big old sploosh, like a big watermelon has just been splashed over his head. Or balloon, not watermelon. Yep.
But also behind you is just a tiny version of your girl.
You're a fucking bitch, you know that?
There's a point. You need to talk to her.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to ask you, Calasil. You need to send messages for me. I kind of have both my hands on my head now. The top of my head.
Sure, I can do that, but Tachi said she will need my magic today, so I'll do that in the evening if I have any left.
If you could, yeah.
Sure.
Great, now my hands can't really... you fucking suck.
You look adorable.
And now your head is clean.
I was gonna wash my head separately. It's fine.
I shape water though and dry his head off. Just suck all the water out.
I'm covering my head with my hands. Just, I'll deal with it later. Just stop fucking with my head, please.
I'm gonna go underwater and wash my hair.
Master of water.
Well, because of how this entire place is, the easiest way to wash hair in general is actually just to lie down, to get it wet and then sit back up.
Exactly.
That, or if you're really flexible, you can lean forward, but that requires some ridiculous flexibility that only monks have. And rogues, I guess, that have a lot high depth as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty flexible.
I begin spiking
you
up the top of my head to cover the horns.
Oh, wait, are they grey?
Don't question it.
No, it's not. They look cool. You should grow them. There's nothing wrong with having horns.
I just prefer if they were like not seen.
Does anyone else in your family have horns? Or is it just you?
I don't think so. I don't really know. I never checked the top of my dad's head.
We can check it when we cut it off.
Oh, great, cool.
Always resorting to violence.
No. We've been through some shit, okay? It's starting to weigh on me a little.
I can tell.
I think we all need a spa day. Or a beach day.
That's what we're doing right now, isn't it?
I mean, I guess it's almost a beach. It's just more sand, less water. It's a reverse beach.
We need the beach.
It's a sheep.
Sure. Well, then let's enjoy our sheep episode.
Yeah.
Oui.
I'm gonna put wet 4 feet Sam on Ursula's head.
Grabs 4 feet Sam like a towel, just rubs his hair with it, and then puts him back down in the water.
He's not a sponge.
He is now.
Oh.
Just nudges 4 feet Sam back.
Why does everything you say sound so threatening?
Just does, doesn't it?
Say something nice. I want to hear like how you sound when you say something nice.
Good try.
What?
Well, that was me being nice.
Oh. Yep, didn't sound nice at all.
What do you mean?
Well, that's what you're getting.
We're trying to teach you how to speak nicely and not sound threatening all the time.
You don't do that.
Usulir say, "You're a really good friend. I enjoy your proximity. What's it called?
Company.
Company.
I enjoy
Thank you.
your proximity.
You're a really good friend, and I enjoy your proximity.
No, that doesn't sound negative. I don't get it.
It sounds like you want to punch us.
Does it?
Let's try a slightly higher pitch in your voice.
This isn't exactly my idea of
Can
relaxing.
you do a falsetto?
Can you talk slightly higher pitched?
Not really.
Can you lose the gravel slightly?
It's a bit hard to.
Can you do an accent? Can you make your voice sound different?
No.
Can you do my accent?
Can I do your accent? No, it doesn't work.
Oh dear.
Can you do my accent?
Can I do your accent? No, doesn't know.
This may be my new favorite thing.
Not so hot on the accents.
One day you're gonna it's when it turns out this isn't your real voice.
Well, wouldn't that be a surprise?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Why?
I don't know. You're very secretive.
How?
You don't
I've
talk
basically
much.
told you all everything about me.
Were you ever married?
That's a good question.
You
No.
Oh fuck.
Inside check.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I would like to make this as well.
Nosely can
16.
decide how he handles this. I assume
Can I
you know
do it
the
as well?
3 options.
Yes.
So you can go ahead and roll them either public or to me. That depends on what you want to do with it.
What
I
are
mean,
the 3 options?
Yeah.
Can I do insight as well, or is it too late?
You can. It's not resolved yet. You can go ahead.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna find out shit.
I mean, okay.
You seems pretty sus, guys.
Well, go ahead and explain.
No.
Okay.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah. Any extended family?
No, I was an only child.
Any friends, alive or dead?
I mean,
Apart from us, of course.
that was a long time ago, but
Old friends? You know,
Friends?
like
people you know.
How long have you been on your
soldier
own?
comrades, but you know, that's about it. Some might be dead, some might not be. I don't know.
We haven't seen any in passing. Oh hey, how's the wife? Yep, sure. Okay, bye.
No, we've not seen anyone.
Could you tell us about the order?
Who's we?
Yeah, who's we?
What?
You said we haven't seen anyone, so who's we?
As in us as a group.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, okay.
Could you tell us a bit about the order that gave you the wolfy powers?
Yeah, I haven't heard of them. Are they quite
Yeah.
secret?
Do they have a name? Do they have a number? I mean,
A number.
Can we page them?
their rank is a group. What's their group rank? I don't know.
They're simply known as the Order of Blood Hunters. Somewhat secretive. I mean, it seems like they'll pick up anyone to help them out. Be
So-
they almost dying or begging for death.
So you have to
What?
be desperate for it? You can't just walk in hey, I want to be a blood hunter.
They wouldn't take anyone in lightly, let's say, but maybe.
not- I'm not saying I want to join, I'm just curious. I'd look weird. Can you
No,
imagine?
they-
Just a dog with horns?
They
Actually, that's cool.
have their ways of finding targets, let's say. Put
How?
it that way. Well,
So-
like I said, maybe desperation. Criminals. Be anything.
Were you a
But then they're put
criminal?
onto service to them.
How did they find you?
Well, they would have found me while defending my home place.
Where was your home place?
Against the Vidanians.
I was about to say, it was just in the war.
Right.
Thought so.
Where was your home place?
Dashi.
Ah, right. I remember now.
Yeah. But like I said, I don't know who's alive or dead. I don't know who runs the shit at Thashi. It's been a
So-
while.
Do they have like a home base? As in like the Order?
Yes, but not on this continent. It's on the center continent.
Oh.
John, do I know of this center continent?
Quite unlikely from the description and from the fact that you really
John?
you haven't really had teachings, that sort of thing. So nah.
Is
You
it
can go ahead and roll, but the
Kermoren?
DC would be so high that you'd have virtually no chance of getting it.
The question is I mean, I know that my mother is not originally from this continent.
Yes.
Do I know any correlation between the two, the original continent my mother was from to the center continent? Is it the same? Is it something different?
Don't really have any context for it.
Okay,
Never
I'm just
got.
gonna roll history. You said?
Yes.
Nope. Never heard of it. The center continent. I never heard of that. Where is that?
In the center.
So it's just like, it's almost like a
I'm
mercenary
lawful
company?
good. I'm lawful good. I'm lawful good.
They just like, do they like help people? Do they, like, are you like soldiers? Are you...
They do things in their own way. In a sense of they like to learn from evil things and then kind of flip it on its head and use that evil against them.
So, did you have like a mission? Is that how you found me? Like, are they after me?
They're not after you. Don't be silly.
Inside check.
I could be scary if I wanted to be.
I trust him.
Like, did you come and find Midori because of them, or did you go for some other reason?
Basically, my task was to come over to this continent to find out basically any information going on, anything weird, anything out of the ordinary. And partway through that, happened to find old Madary here.
Hi.
Hi. If they called you back, would you go?
Put it this way, I would like to not be called back, but if they insist, they insist. It's my oath.
Why
There's
do you
one
What
I
I
like having
basically
here.
paid for under the cost for the taming and still being alive.
So if you just decided, nah, fuck that shit, I'm not going back, could they find you potentially? Is there a way of them finding you?
They probably could. They have their ways.
Do you have like some magical shit attached to you that's like tracking you?
You have
at
a
all
dog
times?
collar?
I don't have a dog collar.
Do you want a dog collar?
No.
Give you one.
I offer him the collar of clothing.
If you take it off, your illusion will dispel.
I am well aware of that.
That was a stupid joke. Never mind.
I still offer him the dog collar. The collar of clothing. Wow.
He is not taking it at all.
Come on.
Yeah, moving.
Putting it back on and bikini is back on.
So you just was sent here to like do research or like learn.
Yeah, you could say that. In a way, just their basic principle is to fight evil with evil. So that's what I'm doing. Send back information if I need to.
But you're not evil.
That's about it. No, I'm
Right?
not evil, but as you call it, lycanthropy is pretty shunned upon.
Yeah.
But you're such a good dog.
You're a good boy.
Sam
I
pays
have
attention when you say that.
Oh, you're a good boy. Yes, you are. I
I
know.
suppose I have been recently.
Oui.
It's been a while since I've turned.
Let's not lose the streak.
Yeah, you're doing it really well.
You're doing great.
Yes, I'm seem to be holding back the urge as well.
Do they not help you with that, or are they just like, here you go,
Just
off
throw
you
you to the
pop?
fucking wolves.
Literally.
They are the worst.
No,
Exactly.
no joking. Henry.
It's not just wolves, by the way. They have other means of, let's say, empowering people with evil.
So you could become another kind of dog.
No,
Like
not just
shepherds?
not like lycanthropy. Different things. There are different sections, but essentially, there's a quarter for learning to augment yourself with different kinds of
Oh,
also alchemy and things.
oh.
Another more thirst for the spiritual. That sort of thing. It kind of covers most bases. But seems I was selected for the taming.
Fair enough.
It's cool.
Yeah, cool.
If you don't mind me asking, but why didn't you want to return to your hometown, to Tashi, when we were close to it?
Because if I do see people there that I know, I don't want them to see me what I am right now.
But you look normal-ish.
I failed them in the defense.
You tried.
I don't want to see them.
I mean, you tried.
Yeah, but
They're not gonna
death
hate
is like a way out and almost like a pride thing.
But what about your family?
If
What
I had
about
any
your
family, then it would only be one person, but
Who?
it'd be my dad, my father.
Is he a good guy or like a...
Is he a Kushmar's dad kind of guy, or a...
He was a hard ass.
Cultural dad of time.
He was a hard ass.
But
He
like,
had a hard butt.
God damn it, Rodolphe.
would you say he was trying to form you into something, or was he just a dick?
No, he was let's say the head guy for the soldiers. And at a young age I really respected that, so I went under his wing.
But like, I don't think he would be angry if you turned up. If anything, he'd probably be really happy. He'd be like, oh my god, my son's still alive. Come here, let me shower you with kisses.
Even still,
Kiss your son.
even still, I wouldn't want him seeing me for what I am now.
We could disguise it.
I mean, as far as he knows, he thinks I'm dead.
Yeah, that probably sucks for him.
Oui.
I just don't think I could bring myself to go there.
Well, if you ever change your mind, then we can probably do something about it.
Do you want to get rid of that lycanthropy that you are having?
Thought you weren't allowed.
Well,
I mean,
if you had
under
a
the
choice,
oath, I'm not allowed, but if I had a choice, I would. But I'm afraid of the repercussions it might have.
Well, I
And it's
can
fair.
learn it if you want me to.
learn what
I can remove it.
can we?
You can just do that.
Is
I can try. I've done a bit of reading and I know of a way. It's not pleasant, but I can do it.
more specific. Are you talking about the spell remove curse? Or are
Yes.
you? Well, I have that as well. That was a.
Oh yeah.
Remember, I learned this thing for a reason.
I don't
Weird.
know, it's a tough subject.
Yeah, and if you're not allowed and if you don't want to break your oath.
I feel like
Oathbreaker Usale. That's got a cool name to it.
It is kind of badass way.
I feel like that if I did, I'd lose something that helps protect. Especially you lot right now, as we need it.
I can
I mean,
definitely
true.
respect you wanting to be strong enough to help us. And wanting to master this thing that has happened to you.
There is
Yeah.
a way we can like make it so you can control it. Is that a thing we can do?
That's the whole point of the taming, but I'm meant to be able to do it myself. That's when you truly surpass.
So you can't yet?
Not entirely.
Maybe we should practice. Like not right now, obviously, bad place to do that. But like when we're like out of a civilian filled area, we could try. Like we have the means to stop you from like doing anything bad, so we can always try it.
I do feel like I want to get a new weapon first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do a bit of speaking to
No.
Tachi.
I
But
feel like I don't want to learn to control it because I would like to be rid of it someday.
I mean, you can still learn to control it and then get rid of it later. You wouldn't
Wait.
necessarily
But then what would be the point?
that you wouldn't have it anymore and you'd be happy.
I
Yes,
think
but if I learn to control it, then lose it, then what's the point?
it's a stepping stone. If you master it, you'd
It
have
makes it
more
easier
power
for
to-
you.
to-
Yeah.
if you know how
that's
to do it, you have an easier chance at like stopping doing it.
maybe it will help getting rid of it as well. You
Mhm.
never know. Maybe it's not as simple as just a remove curse spell. But if
Yeah.
you ever want to try, the option stands. We're here to support you, whatever you choose.
Yeah.
That's very kind.
But if you want to do some like trials when we're like at a camp next time, just let us know because I'm always awake.
Always.
And we have the paranoia hut to keep us safe.
Yeah, I can.
We
wake
have
everyone up if
Moonboom
shit
to
hits.
temporarily transform you back.
And I'm always willing to punch you in the face. He gives a wink.
I know you are. Plus, I owe you.
You owe him a punch. Punch giving.
I
Yes.
thought I was the one. Oh,
Oh, you get one too.
fuck.
You're both lined up for punches.
Yeah.
I think we've bathed enough. We should leave.
I'm starting to get the.
I'm pruning.
There's a pruning, yes.
Yep, I am extremely wet. I don't like it. Don't! No. Guys are children. I swear. Okay. So, we're gonna speak to Tachi or we're gonna get you like a weapon?
I think
Yeah.
Tachi first, so that we know where we're going. At
Okay.
least I should return to Tachi and help her with her project, whatever that might be.
Yeah, I'll
Just
come
if
with you.
you're magically inclined, I don't know if I can help. I'm not very good.
Well, Midori knows a bit, and you know a bit less, but still, maybe it helps.
I can provide
Come.
emotional support.
We,
And you know how inspiring my speeches are.
Very
we.
inspiring.
And when we know more about the project, then you can still go shopping or do whatever. Also, I have a shopping list that I can give you.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
And I haven't been fishing in ages. Fishing is so
Oh,
relaxing.
we. You would be perfect for the fishing.
Mm.
You know, how about we just spend the whole week here and just relax and don't do anything?
Well, we'll
World
see what
ending.
comes first.
Let's head to Tachi.
How about 100 days?
So, you finish up what you're doing in the bathhouse and actually walk out of there after having retrieved all your stuff once more. For once in the very long period of time you've been walking around, actually clean. You had, despite it not being 2 hours just yet, we can hop around a little bit time-wise in-game. And just jump the... I think it's like 40 minutes left, because even in real time it's
Yeah.
been nearly 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting that way. So we'll hop a little bit ahead in in-game time. So, a couple of hours later, having been waiting and just taking your time preparing whatever you wanted to do and getting all your stuff, I mean, you would have had time as well to just go to nearby water sources and clean up whatever clothing and items and whatever else you have, if that should be a thing, and then head towards the main building once more, where Tachi is. Do you have a couple of methods? No, go on.
I'm just going to cast message and tell her, hey, we're downstairs if you're ready for us.
Okay. Message allows for communication back too, right?
Yes.
Okay. I actually wouldn't need it. Just steps out the window, you can see that she's opening onto the side of the window itself, just leaning out of it. Hey, just walk up the stairs over there and you'll be just fine. You'll find my room is the second one on the left side. Calasil, you can fly.
Oh, wait! Wait! I'm gonna cast Ascending Step.
You mean levitate?
Hell,
Yes.
Ascending step.
Well, it's called that as the thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
what are you doing?
So cast
What?
levitate on yourself and bounce off of the ground and start floating upwards.
How the you
Yeah, that happened.
Like an
pretty
air
cool.
balloon.
Okay, yeah, you
But
can
if
just
she
do that.
needs to levitate,
Why can she do that?
I just realised I can't control the movement.
I help her. I catch
Starts
her.
floating past them above the building.
Floating up like a balloon, like help!
I
Help!
catch her. I catch her.
Oh no.
Just grab me by the leg, pull me in.
Yeah.
I'm too buoyant.
Neil, I think you don't fit here again.
He just sits down outside. Okay.
Oh.
And why do you even bring me?
Because I love you.
She says to Tempest as she disappears in the window.
Whee.
Right, let's go up the stairs like normal people.
Yep, heading upstairs.
Yeah, it's easy enough to do that. It's just a slight... It's not spiral per se, but it's one of those where it's made in a spiral type fashion, but it's just square instead. Looks like it's sandstone steps, most of it. It's kind of strange how this entire building appears to have been built just sort of in one go. There are no segments whatsoever. It looks a bit strange, but surprisingly neat as well. You head upstairs and go to the second door on your left, and indeed it does open up into a room where Midori is floating a bit peculiarly, like she has momentum still, but can't quite stop, so whenever she's about to float into a wall, she either has to stop herself or someone has to grab her hand.
I'm
It's,
just
a bit
kicking
weird.
off the walls, like bouncing. Like... I'll drop it now, and I'll
Just
land
slams the floor.
I was going to say, land gracefully.
With your face.
Tieflings always land face first.
Nice. Well, I'm glad that you're all... I'm about to go to next. I'm glad you're all here. So, we have some things to converse about, don't we? So, first of all, welcome to Corin's Exile. I hope you've had a bit of fun. Hope you looked around and at our wonderful nature, etc., 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 etc. I heard, by chance, that you bumped into Storm. Apparently she'd been waiting for me for a little bit. I didn't actually know that, so I'm not quite sure what that's about.
Oh,
I'm
we thought she
sure.
was like the door person.
Oh.
No,
Oh,
no,
the
no.
person with the big spears, right?
The weird stick things.
Oh, those aren't
Yeah.
spears. That's one of her creations. It's a great bow. Ask her about it. She'll be happy to tell you.
Excuse me.
Whoa, that's cool.
I mean, it was a nice bow, but I wouldn't say great.
But why was she...
Is
She
that
was-
the Renkan?
Oh, you know of the Renkan? No, the Renkan was that little bracelet she may or may not have been showing / carrying on her left arm. That's an artifact, for those of you who don't know. It's fairly old. I do mean very old, and it's an incredibly powerful bow that she basically never walks anywhere without. But no, the wooden stakes you saw were the parts she has to her great bow. You most likely also noticed her arrows for the great bow. She usually carries a couple of those.
Mm-hmm.
Different purposes.
What was
Fuck, that was big.
what
Oh,
could
the
she be here
spear-like
for?
thingies were arrows.
Yeah, they're essentially arrows, but I'm not entirely sure how she makes them. But she's been talking about wanting to acquire some mithril as of late and some lighter woods. Apparently they're a bit too heavy. But yeah.
We might be able to help with that.
Oh, she'll be thrilled. That girl loves her archery. I can tell you that much for sure.
She was giving Ursula a bit of a weird look. I mean, I understand why, but...
Never said a half elf, apparently.
Well, if you understand it, then I don't understand what the issue is. She was looking at Uslia weird?
Yeah. She couldn't figure out what he was.
So, because apparently there are a lot more of us, but which is weird for me, because that's like people will always stare at me. But apparently he's the outlier here.
Well, Thomas, the funny thing is, around here, you're not really that different. When it comes to these tribes, there are a number of them, and not a few people have seen the sea elves and the like that come from the tribe of the waters. So you'll actually do fit in quite well in these tribes. Speaking of, Storm, by the way, is the leader of the storm of the tribe of the woods. They're the ones that used to live around where Lake Ador is now, as you call it, or Tharen,
Oh.
if you want to call it by its real name. There are a couple of other ones, and I have actually, as of late, discovered something interesting. You actually met with the leader of the tribe of the Shadows quite a while ago.
We did?
A while ago?
Oh yeah,
Well,
it's a Tasma that lives in Velkin's Landing. I'm
Oh.
told that she approached you guys at one point long ago. Completely unrelated business at the time, but nevertheless.
You know,
We-
we weren't sure if she was like doing fucked up shit or not. No harm, no foul, right?
Well, she's,
we
depending on how you phrase it, no, she's good.
were a bit wary because she was, from what we knew, thieves guild.
Yeah, she runs the masquerade.
Yes, that was a bit worrying. That she's just sitting outside of our camp waiting for me.
Well, that's her business, I suppose. I don't actually know what she wanted to do, but I am told that she did try to contact you fellows. So that's pretty fun.
She wanted us to more or less drop off a letter here, so kind of a roundabout
We-
way of that happening.
Well, she found someone else to do it.
She said, yeah, she said next time we would find ourselves in an inn, we'd find a letter on our pillow, but we never went to an inn.
You were really just fucking dodged all of that, unfortunately. It's okay.
Well, I'm sure that she does not hold any grudges for that. Tachi just says while smiling.
Smash cut to her just stabbing pictures of us in a wall with daggers.
Smash cut to Tempest being held over a cliffside. Long live, motherfucker. Long live the king. Well, queen, I guess. But that is the wrong accent. But I am sure nothing bad will come of that. But anywho, do keep those tribes in mind. And apparently you need to talk to Storm. You should look forward to that. She's a wonderful girl. Wonderful.
Inside check.
You do also notice when she says that she, after finishing the sentence, just sort of stares into space for a little moment.
I like to insight check for different reasons.
I have a 20.
I have a 21.
And she has a 30...
Oh gosh.
No, I'm kidding. It's only a 25.
Poop.
I'm not sure where the extra 10 came from, I'll be honest. Seems truthful. Nothing to be hiding, really. Just seems like she likes her mischief.
Yeah.
She's a lovely girl.
I appreciate that, but kind of seeing that going either thing.
Just looks at you like she didn't hear what you said. Pardon me? I actually
Nothing.
didn't
Never
hear what you
mind.
said.
I think I misunderstood what you said. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Well, if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, the time is kind of bad for it, but the ritual will start some time in the future.
What
But
ritual?
that's not part... She looked at you like completely surprised, like, you don't know?
No, what?
Well, I guess we have a little bit of history to cover before we get to the actual important bits then. It turns out that despite having led the the tribe of beasts, whatever you want to call them, beast tribes, for a very long time, or at least my family has, they apparently had forgotten about us for a very long time. And as such, our teachings had been warped a bit. I do remember that for a long time there had been a lot of, how to put it, celibate warriors. As in, it was considered a distraction at the time to indulge in anything that had anything to do with something you found attractive, because it would distract you from the upcoming fight. Personally, I always disagree with this, but I didn't come to power until I could really do anything about it. I mean, there was a lot of ingrained society nonsense going on. I tried to change it when I came to power, but I didn't have that long, as you might remember from my explanations. But it seems that those teachings has been flipped as time has gone on. Instead of seeing it as a distraction, there's now a fairly ritualistic... what's the best word? Mating ritual? No, it's not orgy. That's just for pleasure. This particular thing is to get rid of any issues you might have, to get the soldiers to be closer to each other, to be more willing to actually make sacrifices and get through combat. It's a morale tool. It's to get the soldiers closer to each other, and quite frankly, it's just sensible. The amount of crazy nonsense that happened back then was ridiculous. But it has the added boon of, even after the war is finished, there's gonna be a population boon. There's a lot of reasons for this.
So the soldiers do it with each other?
Yes.
But
It relieves
how-
stress and it gets people to focus on the upcoming fight. Among other things.
Nice.
Oh my.
I am confused. You said after the war there will be a spike in population. Does that mean this ritual is meant to produce children?
That
How
too.
will the female soldiers fight when they're pregnant?
It's not going to be an
That's-
issue until several months into the battle.
Okay.
And not
You
all
wouldn't-
partake in that particular aspect of it. It merely just is a boon, an added boon. A side effect, if you will. There are plenty of talismans and such that can prevent it for those who don't want to. It's an opt-in. Although I will say, I do like this. They changed it in fashion that I would have endorsed had I been in power back then, but apparently they found their way to it by themselves. I enjoyed that.
I suppose in one way it gives them a
Fuck.
reason to fight.
I read something.
So,
I mean, it's an interesting way to, like, prepare yourself for battle, but to each their own.
Indeed. It's not that unheard of. We have seen naked legions before. There have been some countries here and there that have experimented with it.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly catch you off guard.
True, but they don't particularly do it like that. We endorse armor.
I mean, that was going to be the downside I was thinking of.
Hmm.
I mean, you
And-
could wear an armor that is an illusion so that it is see-through.
Just sort of looks confused at Calcil. What would be the point of that?
I don't know, we were talking about naked legions and I thought we wanted to distract you.
But what's the distraction if
Being
no
naked.
one can see it?
No, the armor is see-through.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah.
So other way around to what? Okay, no. Anyway, that has nothing to do with anything really. That was
Wait,
just
project.
a history lesson, I suppose. So, a couple of things. I guess we'll start with that, yes. The project that we're working on is actually a part of the invasion towards the east. We cannot go through the woodlands for the simple reason that they seem to have been enchanted to reject anyone from the beach tribes. I imagine that the only people in your group that can walk through... Actually, most of you would be able to. It's just Tempest and Kushma that wouldn't be able to. The rest of you should be fine. But...
Me, really?
Yes. You can attempt to walk through those woodlands, but the trees themselves will uproot themselves and then beat the shit out of you. And considering the amount of trees there are, even skilled fighters would have quite a lot of trouble coming through there. Especially because if you burn enough trees, the elemental will come alive, and they are a great bit tougher than the trees are. So, it's unadvised. It has been attempted in the past, and it did not go well for those who attempted it. So I
I'm
devised
guessing
a
you're
different...
thinking of a way to bypass that then.
Exactly. That's where the project comes in. We are installing several very powerful nodes here and there that would allow for a great deal of land to travel by air.
What? Like fly?
Yes.
Oof.
It just so happens that the idea of it is inspired by some information we received from the area recently. And, well, when I say recently, it's been months, but relatively speaking, I'm 1,000 years old at this point, so who knows. But relatively speaking, recent news, and apparently there have been designed some flying ships not too long ago, and they have been visiting the area. This news inspired us. Well, me. And then I started working on this, being the most magically adept person in this particular camp. I felt it was my duty to begin it, to prove that it could be done. That and, well, I'm awesome.
Sounds like it'd be a lot of work though.
And that would be the reason why I haven't actually visited you guys until I met you in the desert. I sent illusions as they require way less magic to actually manifest.
That makes a lot of sense,
So I mean, so how far along are you?
How can we help?
Yeah, what can we do?
Well, the thing is, we're not far enough along. It'll take a long time to prepare this, and especially with the scale we need to do it on. So, we are... well, I am currently trying to figure out the best way of doing it. The fastest way would be to simply move a large piece of large piece of ground and cover the area where the elements and the trees come to life, so we can just walk across in wherever we want. So that's the thing. Another plan could be to lift a great big of rocky mountain perhaps, and just drop it on the Conqueror's Pass, as there is no enchanted woods there and just a gate and a small outpost. The outpost could be taken down fairly easily. And the third is, and would be the most fun, to just have the entire city float. But that will take a long time to prepare. Even if everybody in this place was a caster, it will still take a long time to prepare that aspect of it. But either way, for the time being, I am simply enchanting, and she does a little hand gesture, and it seems seems to be a small warping in the space next to her, and a fairly large, almost egg-shaped rock-looking thing just appears next to her. This is one of them. This is a node. You can put it on something. It won't stick by itself, so you have to actually graft it to whatever you want done. And given the right command word, it will make that thing float.
That's cool.
Given the correct impulses, it could then be told to project a certain amount of magic in a certain direction and send the object and what it's grafted to in the opposite direction. It's a propelling method of sorts. So that's the project. It is highly secret, so if you talk to anyone about this, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to kill you.
We don't want that now, would we?
Lips are sealed. Okay.
Good.
You wouldn't
Wonderful.
kill me, I'm too cute.
Anyway. We do what we must. So that's the project I could use your magic casters with. I do have some other things. The information you gave me about Syra, or to use her full name, Syra Sanyi, is disturbing information, as she is indeed supposed to be around about 84 at this point. So for an 84-year-old, she sounds surprisingly sprightly, whatever that word is.
How do I spell her last name?
Like that.
Senyi. Wait. She looked way too young for her apparent age.
I did get that feeling when we were talking, and I would actually like to scry on her. If any of you have that capability, I will definitely appreciate the help, as it would make this better. I have not seen her myself, I have no familiarity, but I am willing to be the catalyst for the spell.
I was gonna say I do have scrying, but I don't have the component for it.
Well, I do, so do not fret.
Woo! I can do it!
Yay. Cool.
Well, we're gonna be doing it together.
And well, if it helps at all, I will minor illusion, again, probably slightly shorter than the actual her. But the best illusion of her I can.
Okay, I just sort of looks at you. Don't worry about that. I have some information already that is accurate. She looks over at Kellersteel. Sort of smiles.
She looks like a bitch.
And I'm just saying, you said you needed to see her, and this is the closest I can get you to seeing her.
Oh yes, but second-hand knowledge is still second-hand knowledge. I haven't met her in person. If I had, that would make things easier for us.
So,
That is one thing we can do.
I was gonna say we can do it if you want. If you have the things that we can do it with, I can do it now.
Indeed.
I want to do it.
Kellersteel, calm down.
Let's do it.
You just came from the bathing house. You didn't get that out of your body? Anyway, that's up to you. That's one thing that we can certainly do. I do have another project that I would like your guys' help with, as you are a powerful enough bunch that I can send you out into the world in search of some quite important tidbits. As you know, the gods of this world have all been removed? Because I don't really know what happened to them, but I know that they don't really exist anymore. So we do need someone who can keep our planes protected. Seeing as I'm the only demigod left, I probably have to be the one to step up. I can't take all responsibilities, but those who are close enough to my domains, well, the domains I would have if we just assumed as I am now would be a god, well, goddess. But I can take adjacent domains as well, and I can protect everything that I can possibly get close to. For those that I cannot grasp like that, with sheer power, I would need a connection to it. So I do need some artifacts in relation to these different domains. And that's why I need you guys' help to retrieve these artifacts.
Okay.
What kind of artifacts?
Well, for one thing, I found out that a particular set of hearts are needed. One of them is referred to as the lunar heart.
Yeah.
That will attune me to a load of related domains, let's call it like that. The other one is a bit more abstract, because you can call it a heart, but really what it is the forge of creation. I've actually tracked it down as well. Apparently it's somewhere in Amondan. And I don't need the entire thing per se. I need one or two things from that. Either I need a chip of it, which I have no idea how you're gonna achieve, because it's indestructible, or I need to be brought there. I cannot teleport within Amondan for some reason. Trust me, I've tried. So I need an anchor
Give me a
that I can
second.
teleport to. I want to recommend that you write these down. These are very important.
Yeah, I'm on it.
I know, that's why I'm talking kind of slowly.
Yep.
I'm not done yet.
Can you hear my typing, by the way?
Yes.
Probably.
I'll fix that.
I thought it was Ruth.
Why is my sensitivity so high? Alright. Hopefully this is good. Where it picks up me speaking, but not me typing.
We'll see.
Sounds fun.
If I'm like really quiet, you guys hear me still?
Type
Yep.
away.
I'll get a little bit closer.
So, that's a little information, and it is not the end of it.
You said there were 3. What's the third one?
Well, that's actually a bit more difficult to get to. Apparently, it's a secret of the area. I don't know what it is. I do, however, know that some powerful thing in relation to a bunch of gods is there. Not sure what it is that they're keeping, but there is something. I know that much.
Something in the area.
Very
Yes.
good thing that you were heading towards the area.
I cannot doubt that they're just gonna hand over this particular artifact, whatever it might be. But I'd appreciate if you, on my behalf, went there.
But
If
we
need
don't
be.
even know what it is.
That's the thing. If need be, though, give me a day's warning, and I can reserve some of my teleportation spells, and I can pop up there myself within a reasonable amount of time. But I need a day's warning, otherwise I'll be using my spells for my project.
Okay.
I mean, do you know what it looks like?
I have no idea. I just know that there's a thing there that apparently has a lot of earthly gods attuned to it. Yes?
Going back to the Lunar Heart, I'm not sure if we told you that before, but it is in my to-do list. Midori and I, we had a vision from our guides about... Okay, I'm just gonna read you what I wrote down in my notes. I saw my guide. She looked pale. Paler than before, or maybe I didn't notice. She requested we go to the one creature that is the most powerful and has the best chance to become a god, which was meant you. And protect the pale. I don't remember quite what she meant with that. She was quite desperate and felt a bit sad and a bit sad. And she said that you will have some information about the Lunar Heart, which
It's
is an
good to
artifact
know
to gain more power.
It's really good to know that your guide of a different god endorses me. That's lovely.
Oui.
Unfortunately, it is incorrect. I don't actually have any information on the lunar heart at this time. I have a hunch, though. I imagine that you've heard about the crystals nearby Yanaris.
The
No.
crystal.
Yes.
Oh, you have. Good.
I'd be surprised if you didn't, Midori, because you came from there, so I'm glad you did. There is a weird phenomenon going on there with those crystals. They're mostly unresponsive to magic, yet they are magical. Don't really know what's going on with them, but I have a feeling that something is going on over there. Again, I would love to go there and check it out myself, but I don't think it's a good idea. I have other things to attend to. Not to mention, I'm not the protagonist of this campaign. He says in this weird tongue that sort of strikes someone in the back of your mind. You understand it, but you didn't quite know what she said. It's weird.
And
God.
that
She's speaking DM.
Tempest raises an eyebrow and looks to the hard camera.
and that might give us a clue about where to find the lunar heart. That might be related.
Could be. If not, then it'll be a completely different source that might be equally useful. As I have no affiliation with the sea. Well, per se.
Okay. Well,
Well,
I think we've got the list of slap.
lots of places. Yunaris, Emonden maybe, Yeri, Taraksangi, perhaps?
no.
Damn it.
Say, wait, why Taraktangi?
Look, the name Tarask's seems just really cool.
I try to keep away from anything more if I can.
I assure you that it's just a name. That mountain range has been called all sorts of things throughout the years. Incidentally, most of them more related. But I'm fairly certain there's no Tarasks there. They wake up fairly often and we would have known about it.
Okay. So we have 3 leads. We have the lunar heart. That might be have something to do with Yanaris. We have the Forge of Creation that is in Emonden, and we have the Secret of the Area. Oh boy.
Sounds like we have a few things to do in the alley, so.
We. And then we have your project here, which we might be able to help with for a bit. We'll see. And
We
oh
have
right,
A couple of other things. Like
Yeah.
our deal.
we.
Oh, yeah.
I would like my wish, or my wish altered, better said.
You would indeed, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I want to mention drawback.
I mean, it's so long since you've used it. You might as well just stay not using it.
But yeah, but I
Literally
wanted
went
to
all
use.
of this to get it back.
I know, you change it. I know what you want.
Yeah, I want to mention drawback, and I would give up Blight for that.
Well, that was part of the deal, so... Of course, there is one little stipulation to it, though. I have a requirement.
What is the requirement?
I want a kiss.
Oh.
I put Tempest in front of me.
Is it from who?
Calasil.
No, Redka, so you do.
Why?
Tempest's eyebrow is off of his face right now.
The heels slam against the roof. What was that?
Tempest, don't faint.
I'm not going to. I'm just saying this is a very important decision, and you know.
Noah's blood starts streaming down his face.
Is his blood blue or red?
Would have to
Yes.
be blue, otherwise he'd be purple.
Fair. He's an alien. Why do you want a kiss?
Call it a required connection. And a bit of fun.
Okay.
Can I insight for
ahead.
any malicious intent.
Can I insert as well
Go
for
ahead.
malicious intent?
Don't you take the
She's completely fine.
17, 18.
I mean, yeah, probably, but
You never know.
Okay. You can't really read whether she is being malicious or mischievous or just fucking around. It's hard to tell with her.
I mean, when Tempest says it's okay, then it is okay for me as well.
I see no problem. It's, you know.
Oh, one little requirement. The rest of you need to leave the room.
Thank goodness. Right, that's why I pick up Tempest by like the scruff of his neck and just like, let's go.
Raccoon, like, no, don't do this.
Over my shoulder. Let's go. Come on.
Am I not allowed? Am I not allowed to stay?
Just looks at Midori. Do you want to stay?
I mean, moral support.
Give you the biggest puppy dog eyes right now.
You're up to the room, buddy. I'm taking you. We're going. Bye.
No! Don't let him take me!
I've got both of you now.
Well, I guess this is happening now.
and just walk out with the rest of them.
Midori's gonna look. If there's a keyhole, she's looking through it.
I just heard she's in the mouth. That punch just got 10 times worse.
Look, it's probably gonna be embarrassing for her. Just let her do this. She wants her teleporty thing.
Tachi begins with, I know that you love your teleportation and your stuff, as she walks away from Kellerseal. And I know that on a certain level you wanted that. Here's the warning though. This has some implications when it comes to magic. Using wish too often has the potential to be a troublesome ordeal. It's not going to be an issue for me, but your future spellcasting, should you become powerful enough to alter fate by casting a spell as well, me using this with you again might have a slight chance of reducing the amount of times that you can cast wish in total. Most mortals only have a couple of castings across their lifetime, if they ever reach the power in the first place.
Why are you doing this to me?
The chance is not massive, but it is there. Should the chance be hit, the number of times you can cast a wish by yourself, should you reach that power, will be reduced. Not removed, just reduced.
Why are you doing this to me?
Your hubris.
I hate this so much.
Have you done it yet? Come on, hurry up.
Kiss her, you fool!
Looking through the keyhole, you can't see anything.
So much.
That is the risk you run, Kellerseal. It's not big, as I mentioned, but it is there.
God damn it.
No, I'm fine.
God damn it.
I'm still fine.
Fuck you.
I mean, Tempest might
Actually
be
saying-
jealous.
Just listening to
God damn it.
She's never made those noises with me.
Can't tell if it's good or bad.
Well, Kellerseal?
You can't spring this on me and...
Just did.
Out of character, it's only a small chance.
Yeah, out of character, I know that, but I also know my dice rolls. But it's John that's rolling, so maybe it's fine.
Do it.
Do it!
Don't be a coward.
Making
Yeah,
my
I'm
dice is named
so
Doom
long.
Dice. I mean, come on. It never rolls poorly.
I'm doing it because it would have been silly doing all that work and then checking an egg out.
Okay. Sachi walks back over to you and gets quite close. So, did you want a kiss anyway?
Is it required now?
It never was. I just wanted to get the rest out of the room, because this might be an important decision that you shouldn't rely on non-casters to make.
Well, Madori is a caster.
Yes, but she's not a wizard.
We. Sure, go ahead.
She leans in, but doesn't kiss you. She just picks you up in a hug.
No.
There's a surge of magic around you as your spell list is shuffled once more. Incidentally, by the way, I already rolled the dice. I rolled above the threshold, so you do not take any negative effects to your future casting of Wish. But I rolled 4 away from that.
You lucky son of a bitch.
Dice are favorable today.
So I take away blind and I get dimension door.
Yes,
Thank you.
with no ill effects.
Yeah.
She put you down, and there's a distinct feeling of, wow, she's squishy, after she put you down. Tachi then faces towards the door. You can come in again. Well, I'm guessing you're pressing up against the door to listen.
Just
As
Midori.
it says that, the door just swings open and Midori folds in.
As a because he was there.
I couldn't really stop them. It would be
Medora was the eyes, I was the ears.
They did it! I saw it! They totally kissed.
Totally.
Oh devil, I don't even care.
I'd say how was it, but
Cartier, was she better than me?
I mean, she is a goddess of bliss. No, you're totally better.
I was gonna say that's not a no.
It's okay, you're not that lied to me.
Well, technically, it would be a deception and an insight check for you too, because it is a deception she's doing.
Oh.
I'm just going with it, I don't even care.
The deception isn't about the quality of it, it was just whether it happened, is the point here.
It is a 12.
And Tempest?
See, I'm debating whether I even want to, but why not? Let's let this ride.
I mean, that or your passive insight would be enough to surpass that anyway. I think. I mean. Somewhere in the back of your mind, you suddenly question, did they kiss?
Did they do more?
Oh god.
Chan chan chan.
Such a short amount of time.
I'm choosing to believe what I'm choosing to believe.
You do you.
Whether it happened or not, I know what I believe.
Well, I'm sure, Tempest, that you'll believe what you want to believe. Wink.
Shoots
Anyway.
finger crossbows.
We have 2 other businesses to attend to. First of all, Tempest, actually. I do believe that recently you lost a weapon. Am I correct in saying this?
That's a word for it.
Yes. You lost Kuyo. While I should be upset that he lost a weapon that I considered mine for quite a long time, I'm actually very interested in to see what happens with Kuyo in Cyrus Senyi's hands. That ought to be interesting.
The delays and events, I wonder if Kuyu would have accepted that.
Well, we will never know, I guess. So, in that vein, I do have a little thing here for you. It's a sword that has been master-crafted. Now, as far as I understand, you're using short swords, right?
I prefer my rapiers, but I can use short swords as well.
Well, I'm fairly certain that you'll be quite adept with this short sword, like many others. She looks at Killer Seal and looks at her for a moment.
She just put your sword short.
That's I'm appreciative of the weapon, so I'm not going to say anything.
See, I'm just over this
Master weapon.
beautifully crafted weapon. It is quite a sight to behold. It appears like it's very high quality. The scabbard, not so much, but the sword itself is pristine. And when she mentioned it as a mastercraft, well, masterworked short sword, it is actually a mechanic. This particular short sword can only hit 4, 5, and 6 on the damage dice.
Ooh.
Not your sneak attack, keep in mind. That's unaffected, but the sword itself, on its damage rolls, can only roll 4, 5, and 6.
Ooh.
That's fancy.
As it is
That
a
is cool.
masterworked weapon.
This is nice.
Here you go. Have fun with your short sword. Looks like Killer Seal again. Don't forget to share it with Killer Seal if you need it, okay? I mean, her wings are pink already as it is, so, you know. The last thing,
Oh my.
you can have a little bit of fun training with that while... It's just us girls, isn't it? Gonna be scrying for a little bit.
Yay!
Alright. I have this little thing, she says, and again makes a slight hand movement, and in the air above her hand there's this distortion and a small, but looks like a glass orb. It's like a fairly typically described when it comes to fables and such, glass orb that just appears like a scrying ball, more or less. Fairly typical. This is a scrying device. It doesn't really have any particular names. It have many dumb names, and I'm trying to think of a better one, but I haven't made one yet. The closest I've come to it is scrying ball, but frankly, it sounds weird. Anywho, we need some sigils, we need some chalk to make a little area, and we need to focus. So, for us, we need to scry. We shall commence with that in just a minute after this break.
Okay.
After these commercial messages.
And we're back because there are no commercials, because... Actually, that might be. I don't know if my stream runs ads at all. I have no idea.
Oh, well.
Probably not yet.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anywho, we will go on a break for, let's say, 10-ish minutes, give or take a bit, to get some drinks and some stuff. We will be right back.
Okay.
Ciao for now. And here we are back. So, we left off with you guys preparing a scrying ritual with Tachi, the girls that is. Seeing as the rest of you do not have the magic capabilities of attempting a scrying in any regard, you can either stay in the room for moral support, or if you want to do something else, you certainly can.
I mean, it's 10 minutes. What are we going to do in 10 minutes? I'm just going to sit.
Well, I was gonna go out and try and look out for a storm.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and try to sell the mithril.
I'm just practicing with the short sword to get a feel for it.
The office isn't massive, but
I'm gonna go outside, but before I leave, just go. Hell, I'll burn through all 3 just for the hell of it. Galacia, you know how beautiful you are. Tachi, you're amazing. Madoli, finger crossbows.
I do them back.
Finger crossbows.
guns do
Thank you.
exist. You've actually met the woman who, well, one of the women that invented guns.
Yes.
It's not pew pew, it's twang twang.
All 3 of you have fucking breaks.
The Tempest leaves. Tachi says, "Have fun playing with this sword."
Always do.
Grasp it firmly.
Why would you say that?
The opportunity was there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's
I sent Neil with Usulia.
So Uslia walks out of the building and Neil just stands up and starts walking after him.
Guess I'm
Silently.
looking after you then.
Yeah, I follow.
Okay.
Neil, if you need us, just tell Neil to tell me. As long as you're a mile away, I can hear you.
She shouts out the
Okay.
window.
All right.
Okay, so the rest of you have a seat in the newly prepared scrying area. It's fairly ritualistically looking, as in a fairly large prepared area that Tachi has been spending a little bit of time marking up for you guys. Well, girls, I guess. She sits down after having put some pillows out
I'm
for each of
here.
you. What?
I'm here.
In a
Just
corner
chilling.
somewhere.
Yeah.
You sit down, the 3 of you, within this drawn circle. She puts the scrying orb in her hand and holds it forward, and instructs the both of you to put your hands on it as well. And concentrate on your scrying. So,
I don't have the spell, but I will help as much as I can.
you're essentially there for morale.
Yes.
Okay, so Mandora, your DC, does it state it in that long text of stuffness? No. What is your DC? I'm guessing 16.
My spell DC?
Yeah.
Where the hell is that?
Over your
me.
cantrips. It's over your cantrips there it says ability, and then right next to it is save DC.
It says... I don't see this.
What is the bar over your cantrips?
Oh,
Right?
Ruth.
It says ability,
Go to your spell list.
charisma, and it says save DC.
Oh, 17. Sorry.
There we go.
We did it.
We got that in the end.
We
I'm
did.
proud of you.
Thank you. Am I a good boy?
Well,
Girl?
no.
I mean,
And define good. But anyway.
Anything you want to be.
anything you feel like. Okay. I need to roll me a dice. Okay. Oh, okay. That's an interesting start.
Uh-oh.
And it just occurred to me that I need to check something to know whether or not a certain effect can be used
I don't know.
on this. A saving throw. Okay, she's gonna burn her first legendary assistance to choose to succeed on the saving throw.
Bitch.
So in other words, you're trying to focus on her, Midori, but somehow her will alone blocks your first casting of scrying.
Oh,
And then she can't be scried on again for 24 hours.
well, that didn't work.
Well,
No luck?
no luck.
Shit.
Oui.
That is unfortunate, but there
That?
is another option. If we can guess where she would be, we can find her by scrying on the area.
Well, she said she was going to Corin, so wouldn't she be here? That's what I was scared that she might be here.
She'd still be a couple of days out.
I hope so. I hope she's just gonna come here. That should be fun. However,
If she-
she might not have been referring to Corin's exile and rather been referring to Corin's home, which is northeast of here. As far as I
So
know,
we-
anyway.
We could scry there then?
It's unlikely she'll be there yet. You met her in the middle of the desert. Odds are she's still walking.
Wait.
She doesn't know any particular... anything that has happened in the last many years, I suspect. So she'll likely be making a beeline for it.
I mean, we tried to tell her, but she was doing a lot of slicing.
And being mean. And just a general bitch.
I feel like that's implied with the slicing part.
Ungrateful bitch.
Well, cut her some slack. She's apparently been napping for the last 50 years.
True.
I know how that's like.
True. But you were way nicer when we freed you.
True.
Well... yes, totally.
Yeah.
I don't
Just
like
smiles.
Insight check.
I'm not inside checking that.
Go ahead. Go and roll your insights. That's cocked dice.
She was only nice because we had Midori.
Probably. But I want to believe that she likes us all.
You get the feeling, Midori, there's more to what she said, because you actually got kind of close, because I rolled extremely poorly on the dice. But you
Yeah.
didn't surpass her. But you get the feeling there's definitely more to the beginning. As you might recall, there was a bunch of details that could have swayed Midori in different directions.
True.
And none of them happened, and none of them were forced either. But you get the feeling that things could have been different if she had willed it to be different.
You like us too much.
Sure. Anyway, where do we think that she's going to be walking? Actually, like most of you, yeah. It's fun.
Oh, thank you. We like you too.
She said most.
Is that why you're still blushing? You really wanted that
Wait.
kiss, didn't you?
I mean... So, I would
Kemp
say...
is suddenly distracted from his strike.
David just stops in the middle of the street, turns around, like, what was that? I felt a disturbance in the force.
So, she's maybe coming here? Or she's going to where Corin was living? Or she might go and search for where Corin could be?
Yes. All of those are options. Luckily, we know that all of them are in a northeastern direction.
So if
And
we
judging by where I found you, I have a decent idea of where there is in the desert. Which means you would have to have been in the area of where she was. She's solo, on foot, has no resources, probably, unless you can cast spells to create some. Meaning she
I
likely
wouldn't-
has to pass through oases.
So
I mean,
we-
it would. Sorry.
Go
Like,
ahead!
It wouldn't put it. I wouldn't put it past her if she knew some shit like spells.
But it's probably would be our best chance to scry on her, scry on an oasis that she could be at when we think she's resting.
That or calculate where we assume she's gonna be. We have several castings of scrying as it is right now. We're trying to pinpoint her location. Could be done through that if we have had anyone who is good enough at math to do that sort of thing.
I raised my hand.
Touchy just smiles at you. I figured. And just to cut it down a little bit. Just to cut it down so we're not sitting here for ages actually doing math.
But
You shouldn't have said the M word, John.
What you mean that my field of study is useful for once? What you mean you want to skip it? How dare you?
Because I don't think that many people will find it that interesting, and I myself can see it by just looking at the map.
Yeah. I do the math stuff. It was very effective.
We'll see. Roll intelligence check.
Intelligence check.
Yep.
God
Oh
damn.
no!
I'm gonna use my inspiration die. It's a d6, right?
Yep.
D6, yes.
My brain went, don't roll a 1, don't roll a 1, rolls a 1, shit.
I rolled a 4 on the d20 and I rolled a 1 on the d6. Can I just...
Be a good time for that lucky feat.
I was about to
John,
say,
can I get lucky back?
the biggest reward for 2 of the people in the party now is the lucky feat.
I want my lucky feet back.
But I despise it because it is really disruptive and really fucking powerful.
I know, but my die roll is freeze.
But counterpoint, I want it.
Okay. But anyway. The estimation is not fantastic. All things considered, it seems like Kelasiel is pink-winged and distracted, trying to hide from the fact that she definitely wanted that kiss. So, whilst he's doing the numbers, he's a little bit distracted, and it ends up being slightly off. But since you have, oh, I don't know, like 9 scrying attempts, because Tachi has quite a few, there is a good chance, nonetheless, that you'll find at least the area that you're looking for.
Can I just say, I broke my hairpin. I'm gonna be sad in the corner now.
Oh, poor Kelasiel.
So, can we, like, do we find it? Did we find it?
Just a moment.
Shit, there's something happening?
Oh, exactly 9. Wow, my head math was correct. Extremely specifically. In this weird case. Okay, you have 10 total attempts to find the location that she might be in.
Okay.
It is fairly early in the day, and your estimate map-wise is distracted, to say it nicely. So, for Midori's attempt, I'd like you to just roll me a percentile dice.
Oh. What's that?
And I think we have, in theory, a couple more attempts after lunch break, because Warlock.
Voila!
60.
Well, that's true, actually. I'm not gonna allow spamming out short rests for this purpose. Makes no sense.
True, but that's why I said lunch break.
Yeah, I'll allow the 2 extra. 60 is pretty good, actually. But all in all, you end up just scrying on a bunch of sand.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with S.
Sausages.
Gonna roll a bunch of scrying for Tachi. First one is 44, not enough.
Should I roll another or no?
No, you only had 1 more attempt.
Ah, damn it.
Because you've used both your spell slots now.
Okay, I'll mark that on my thing so I don't forget.
So 82, not enough. 72, not enough. 35, not enough. 35, not enough. 74, not enough. 1.
Oh my god.
89, close, but no cigar. 99.
Woohoo!
Bullseye.
Woo, fine. Imagine this is like 5 hours later. Midori's
It
like,
was literally the
pulling out her
last scry.
Oh,
So it's 90
Like, of
minutes
course
later
it's-
at max.
Of course, it's the last one.
Yeah, but the thing is, the first many scries can be cut short, because it's spelled the last 10 minutes, so you can look at this location for 10 minutes. But if you don't find what you're looking for, you don't need to. So it'll be something like a minute of looking around, and then cutting it off. So in reality, it would take less than an hour to do all 9 attempts. But at the end of it, while Midori no longer has any spells and literally cannot participate anymore because he's been blocked out by Saya herself and has run out of magic, more or less. You leave Tachi to do the scrying, but giving your moral support, you still stay with it to just lend the essence of your helping with the scrying. At which point you hear Tachi go, "Oh, look who I found."
what, where?
Well, I'm guessing that he's about 2 days southwest of here. That's interesting. Just sort of appearing like she's just taking stock of Saya as he's looking through this scries, but like, oh, okay. Yep, that's definitely Kuyu. Oh my god! Have you
What?
seen her ass? It's
Yes,
fantastic.
I got a very good view as she was walking away. It was quite good. As much as I hate to admit that.
Irrelevant, I suppose, for the scrying, but nevertheless. A few minutes pass. Huh. She can cast magic. Did not expect.
What did she cast?
Well, I don't recognize the spell per se. I recognize the movements of it. It appears to be a similar spell to that the thing you do. I forget its name. I'm not a warlock. That pew pew thing you do, the lasers.
What?
She
Like
has
the
all her
past-
flats.
Wait, what?
She didn't do that when she fought us. She did the whole, the black speary spike things.
Yes,
Or she
we've
stole your
seen the
move.
Witherborn cast those as well. In case you've forgotten, the Witherborn are what we call those creatures from outside now. For the sake of giving them a name.
That bitch
Um,
stole my spell!
Oh
Which
boy.
is strange.
But the
Why
only
can't
things
you
that can do
cast
that are
Witherborn
oh,
spells?
wait.
Maybe
Our
she's done
experience.
them.
By the way, she doesn't seem to acknowledge anything you guys are saying. She's just talking.
I'm just like looking at kind of see like, is she a thing?
She might be. That's what I was worried about, remember?
Because she didn't do that when we were fighting until and then I did it at her. Do you think she kind of absorbed it?
Maybe. Or she knows what the other creatures know, because she could also use a variation of Scorching Ray, but I never used it in that fight.
I mean, I will also give the hint that there was another spell cast during that combat. Well,
Trying to
during
remember
that
what
event.
she did.
Counter spell.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you gave them counterspell?
I mean, yeah, I gave him counter spell at some point.
Oh, that's a problem for you, not me.
Now this is
Thank
too much
you.
of a coincidence. Like all the spells that we've used, she somehow has.
You know, I was saying this before,
I know,
We-
but now it's like,
We were all saying this before.
but I was saying it first.
but she's got my Eldritch Blast.
It appears that she is simply training. I don't really know why she keeps spamming the spell, but she is just firing it at things. Looking like she's getting used to it.
She stole my spell.
Just sort of shouting it.
Yeah. That
Use your
fucking
tennis from
bitch.
below. What spell?
I send him a message and fill him in.
He's out of
Yes.
range.
Oh fuck. Never mind.
Wait, can I message you to live from where I am, or is it
Out
too
of
far?
range.
I'm just here.
And about now, she's walked outside my scrying range. It gets all fussy out there. My god! She gets out of... my me! She says as she gets out of the scrying. looks at Midori. Did you see her ass?
I did,
My God. Well, me, I guess.
but she stole my spell.
Yeah.
And mine?
So she knows
Yeah.
Witherborn spells?
Apparently.
And she didn't use that spell on us when we were fighting her, so she obviously got it off of me when we were fighting her, and now she can do it.
Or she
with-
Are
chose
you
not to use
sure?
them.
I think
Well-
it's very unlikely that she just didn't use it.
It's the fact that she has all the spells that we've used in previous fights with those things so far, so...
The first thing she used against me was a counter spell. When I tried to message you, Tachi, when we found her.
Oh.
That's because you counterspell to end the thing on the jail. That was house. She could have learned it there.
Maybe, but I never used my variation of Scorching Ray, and she wasn't able to cast that. At least I didn't use it in that fight. I have used
But
it
you
against
used it against
Witherborn
the-
before.
That doesn't make it so that she can't use it if the Witherborn can use it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. She knew spells that the Witherborn knew, but that we didn't use during this fight with her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what's the problem? I don't.
nothing, because Midori said was saying about that she used the spell during that fight. I was just making sure that we understand that she also knew spells that were not cast during that fight.
I see. I have no idea why we're speaking.
God.
I got confused.
I figured.
I'm gonna go sit back down.
We.
My head hurts.
It's crying shit. I don't understand.
Do you want an ice cream?
No.
Do you want an ice cream? Sorry. Okay, well, that's kind of a concern, I suppose, that she has that. You've dealt with them more than we have. They learn, yes?
We.
So she's a Witherborn, but is also a person that has in the past not been a Witherborn. I think we're gonna have to start using classifications then, because we've met different types. I assume that you two have met the slug type things?
Yup.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the first ones.
The worms, you
And
mean?
you've- Yes. Well, no, more like slugs. We have seen worms as well, they're somewhat bigger.
Oh boy.
More aware. We've seen those jellyfish things that you referred to as well. But we've seen nothing bigger than that. Yet I remember you distinctly describing something bigger than that you fought in the past.
Hydra.
Indeed.
What did we have? We had slugs, jellyfish, and Hydra.
And that, what was that thing that guy was attached to?
The
That was another
the
one.
brain thing with the shields. That was
The-
jellyfish. never
that
mind.
was a worm thingy.
Oh, okay.
And
The tiny world leader.
and there was another thing that was in the camp with the doggos. That was kinda tentacly, I think. Just remember, it looked like an
It
Eldrazi.
burrowed. It was slimy as shit. It had that sticky stuff, and it kind of just went underground and went back up.
Yeah.
What was it? It had like lots of little. Was it like wormy as well?
It sounds interesting. Would any of you allow me to take a peek into your mind to see this thing?
Go ahead.
Wow, that was
That
so
was
fast.
a very quick offer. Yes!
You can kiss me if you like.
Well, that would be one thing that Taji could say, but what he will say instead is, "Oh, you're really eager to get me inside you."
Oh my.
His eyebrow from outside the window.
You know, she's going to see like everything. Everything.
The other eyebrow came up.
I have nothing to hide.
Oh.
Oh boy. Too much information.
As you put your hands on the side of your temples, she stops for a moment. It's like she suddenly remembers something. Oh, that reminds me. Remember that little thing we did out in the desert?
What little thing out in the desert?
The issue I pulled from you.
Ah, oui.
Remind me about that in a moment, after we've done with this. I have it in a jar. I'll explain in a bit.
What?
What?
In a manner of speaking, anyway. I'll explain in a bit. For now, just look at me. No, look up. It tilts your head upwards to actually face her face. Now just relax. As you cast a spell that I assume you're not going to resist.
I'm not gonna resist.
Okay. As you start rooting around in your memories. Doesn't take too long before she finds what she's looking for. She takes her hands off your face and goes, oh! Okay, that certainly looks like a handsy with the bone. Did it try to grab anyone? Do we have a name for that?
Did it try to grab anyone? I'm trying to
I don't think it tried to grab anyone.
What
I mean,
grabbed
we were fine
Ursula?
with them.
Did
I
Ursula
don't
get
know.
grabbed?
Ursula, did you get trapped? Trapped.
It's not there.
Trapped?
Both Tempest and
Ursula's
Ursula
not
left.
here.
Something.
Yeah, but I mean, would we remember that he got grabbed?
You remember
I
that
think
Tempest
I-
got grabbed.
I'm not sure if it was me or Tempest.
Fairly certain it was
Someone got
Tempest, but I'm not actually sure now that you mention it.
Tempest. It was Tempest. Because
Okay.
he was like trying to fend for himself. I remember.
I was gonna say I'm confusing that with the Hydra fight. I think because they got poisoned or some shit.
Ursula got poisoned in the Hydra
That's true.
fight, and Tempest got grabbed in the dude fight.
Okay.
So they're evolving limbs as well. They've gone from worms, well, gone from blobs to worms to jellyfish to now being able to actually use hands.
So wait, do you think she's taken shape of one and she can look like a human now?
It's not impossible, but judging by how long it's been, it seems like a bit too big of a leap. Not to mention that most of these creatures, they're all bulky, they're all big. Why would they choose to become something of so awesomely compact size?
To hide.
Maybe they have tainted her, like they did with other beacons, but in a different way.
Maybe it's like a mix.
Maybe she was a beacon.
That could... Oh, that's actually a very fair point. If she is a beacon, all the more reason we should get a hold of her. If she's a corrupted beacon, I guess the question becomes how much control she has. Judging by what I just saw in the scrying, she appears to be testing her new abilities. Or rather, be testing her abilities like they're new, is probably a better phrasing. And if she has been unconscious for, well, however long, and just woke up recently, but that
Do we
makes
think-
sense. If we assume the timeline and everything, she's 80. With that ass. And
Do we
sorry, I'm
think-
distracted again.
Do we think it has anything to do with the ritual that the Sand Dragon was trying to cast on her? That I interrupted, which she didn't thank me for? Ungrateful bitch.
Still hung up.
That
Could have been a trap.
ritual
maybe.
you said. Was there any
Oui.
markings on the ground or any some such? Anything to depict any information about what classification the spell was?
Do you remember any of that, John?
You can go ahead and roll me a history check.
Can I get lucky yet?
Okay, you see it.
Oh my god.
Would I remember anything?
Bit too late to ask that.
It was
Damn it.
fast. I just remembered seeing something, and I immediately spelled it. It happened
Dispelled
too
or
fast.
counterspelled? Because you said both
Counterspelled.
now. Okay. Did it by chance look something like this? You first see her cast an insanely powerful spell that seemed to allow her to cast a secondary spell. You, I believe, have the spell on your spell list. I'll just quickly double check that.
What I remember is that it looked like it was draining energy. I remember that being mentioned.
She said, Kushma, sit still.
What?
Felix.
What?
And you see, as Tachi starts casting the spell, it appears to be very similar hand motions and casting techniques as you saw at the time. And it's about that time it clicks for you, Kelasiel, as you have this spell on your own spell list. It's a spell called Vampiric Touch.
I don't have that on my spell list.
Well, it's on the wizard spell list.
Oh, okay, in the wizard spell list, but not in my book. Yeah.
Technically,
going
Kelasiel
to-
doesn't know it, but she knows of it, because it's one of the things you can learn. And Kushma takes a little bit of damage, but it won't be relevant, so whatever.
Stats.
Oh yeah.
I want to be hurt.
You take 7 points of necrotic damage.
What the fuck? Ow!
As it just drains a bit of your life force. Does that ring any bells, Kelasiel, as you continue
We-
the spell?
It looked exactly like that. She was losing energy like that as well.
Okay.
But
Sorry about
does
that,
it do-
Kushma. Don't worry too much about it. It'll heal, she says. You'll be fine. Just
Ow.
cast healing word on you, healing you for 9.
I used
Wait,
to
no, way more than
I
that.
took 1 point.
Okay. The healing word
Relevant anyway.
alone heals you way more damage
Don't
than you
worry,
took, so
yeah.
you're fine. It's like
It's the weird day.
5, 6, 7.
Ow.
You heal 14 from it.
Thank you, I guess. You mean you caused it?
And that's why I healed it.
Yeah, it was... Yeah.
It was important, I had to have a target, so...
Oui.
No, I understand.
Good.
So, oops. What did it do?
It's a spell that allows you to steal life force from any creature. It will steal it, in a very literal sense. It'll take it from the creature and then give it to yourself. So there's a decent chance, if that was what he was casting, that he was using it to heal himself.
That would make a lot of sense since we had fought him the day before. And he might have been still weak from that.
That certainly could explain a lot. The question then is, how much...
What? Do you hear that sound as
yeah,
well?
it's Joker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went back.
Microphone is buzzing.
Bzz.
Okay.
So there's a decent chance that he was stealing life force. She was sluggish, from what I recall you telling me about it, so that
We
could explain
and
that.
after she got Kuyu back, she seemed to have been regaining a bit of her energy, so to speak.
That... that seems strange.
Maybe.
Kuyu's never had any life force
Am-
related thing.
I am remembering this correctly, John, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
She essentially sobered up as soon as she got Kuyu.
So you're saying that when we fought her, she was actually not as super strong as before?
There's
And
a
now
decent chance she was wounded and woozy, yes.
That's scary.
She was quite strong. Me to be fair, we used a lot of our stuff on the dragon.
I can imagine.
Fixed it, or am I?
Yeah. Oh, wait.
It was, and then it burst again, but it's not nearly as much.
It's
Actually, it's nothing right now. There it is again.
There.
See, it's weird because it's coming in through my headphones too, which is really freaking me out right now.
Is check your connection, like the wires.
Yeah, I think it sounds like a loose...
Yeah, definitely.
Not quite put in plug, essentially.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. Something Kelasiel's a master of. Anyway.
What the fuck?
What? Hello?
Oh my.
What? It's a joke. Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
So, in other words, she was boozy, she was very much not at her full potential at that time as well. That is interesting. It might actually be really good for us if she does come to our side. Assume, of course, she's not been taken by the Witherborns.
We.
Oh, and I'm sure that a girl like that would be more than willing to apologize for any rudeness she may have caused after having been asleep for a very long time, she says, looking at Midori with a little bit of a hint of sorry about my waking up time.
What, are you gonna kick her ass?
I mean, probably.
Do it. Make her feel pain.
Make her stuff up.
Probably. But I'm glad that you came to me with all this information, and that we found out a bunch more apparently.
Why don't we just go get her? Like, drag her back here by her ears and... I mean, maybe want you there, because we nearly died last time.
Yeah, she's pretty tough.
Well, if she's that powerful, it probably would be a good idea to have me at my full potential, and I've literally used all of my good spells for today. Well, for most of the day anyway. It'll take quite some time for them to return. Namely, my most powerful spells. I'd like to have them in reserve, just in case. If she's as powerful as you seem, to mention her. Not to mention, when I was digging around in Killer Seal's head, I did see a few of her techniques, and they appear to be from somewhere around the Yanaris area. There are a number of warriors over there who have similar techniques. That and the Feywilds as well.
Would I know much about that, or would Midori not know shit because she's Midori?
Well, there's a good chance Midori wouldn't have been paying attention to it, so you can roll me a history check, but it will be fairly high DC. And the ironic thing is, the other person who would know anything about this has left.
Oh.
The only guy you have in your party who's military trained is currently not here to talk about military training.
What about Ursula? Oh, he's not. Oh yeah, no, I see.
I mean, what we remember from Yanaris is that the weapon is definitely similar to what they have over there. They tend to not wear too much armor either, because the mobility and dexterity that you need to wield it is mandatory, essentially. But yeah, you don't recognize the techniques, but you do recognize the weapon types.
I mean, we can ask Usulir if he knows more when he's back.
Good. Good. I spaced there for a moment. That would be interesting. I'd like to know his take on it. I do not know too much about these folk. Although I would love to learn how the hell she did any of that.
We definitely need to be careful of her, even if she wants to be an ally. Her connection with the Widerborn might be too dangerous, and we should kick her butt.
You really don't like her, do you?
No.
What did she
To be
do
fair,
other
she
than nearly
did-
She
killing
killed
your boyfriend?
Neil!
She killed Neil and nearly killed Tempest, so I mean, her reasons are valid.
And she was being a complete bitch the whole time.
The thing is, having seen those techniques she used, you could have easily killed him. She chose to use what I can only assume is her weakest technique for that particular case, instead of flat out killing him.
So we should be grateful that she hurt us very much and killed my pet.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you definitely didn't want to make permanent enemies of you by killing one of you. She just wanted to make a point, I'm guessing. Granted, I don't know, but there must be a reason why she didn't just kill Tempest.
True, but it doesn't excuse her behavior.
Oh, and the needle thing. As far as I can see from your memory, that was collateral damage.
Well, it doesn't change the fact that he got hurt. And I am very protective of my children. As I assume you would be of Midori as well.
Indeed. Well, I'm sure Midori wouldn't walk into some kind of death laser or some such.
You were there, you know what happened. I didn't walk into it, I didn't have time to move.
She was in the loo.
I know, you were mentally AFK at the time. It's okay. She hugs Midori.
I was in line of fire, I couldn't move.
It's okay. They're there.
We didn't die, it's okay, everything's fine. No
Midori just
residual-
sitting there rubbing her elbow for her next victim.
Like, we didn't get any residual lasting effects, right? Eye twitching.
Oh, that reminds me for whatever reason. So that issue I removed from you, Killer Seal.
The tiny insanity problem, yes.
Yes. I found out pretty quickly that it did not remove it. I merely pulled it from you. And since I didn't have any place to put it at the time, it sort of just lingered around in me, where I had to remove it once more. Instead of carrying it myself, I put it in this bottle. It takes out what appears to be a fairly normal glass bottle you use for distilling when it comes to alchemy. And you see this kind of dark liquid that seems to emit smoke itself, just sort of permeating up into the not neck, what's it called? The throat of the flask. This weird black, almost like a, what would be the case? Loose dust being pulled up by fire, that sort of thing. That's sort of flowing upwards. Continue in a moment.
Huh?
Essentially, there's a shadow. Shadowy something in the flask, that's easy to put that way. That flows upwards. This is what I pulled from you, and apparently it's fairly material. I'm not sure where you got this, and I'm not sure which of you have any more of this. I cannot do anything about that today, but I can remove whatever it is from the rest of you.
We all have this?
I don't know, but it's worth finding out. Apparently Killer Seal had quite some sadism issues as of late.
I mean, that would explain a bit, yeah.
Seal smiles at Killer Seal. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be like you to want to inflict pain. I guess Tempest should... I feel like he's sweating somewhere. Oh well.
I'm like right outside downstairs.
He's always sweating.
Do
Fair
we
point.
think that this might be from the Riverborn? Maybe that's also something that is in Sierra then. Maybe that's the start of the corruption?
That very well could be. It makes a lot of sense. I just figured when I first saw it that it was some kind of weakening tool, so you'd be less poised to defend yourselves against them. But what you say makes a lot of sense actually, because it would be a stepping ladder, wouldn't it?
Oui.
So in other words, yes, do come back tomorrow and we'll cleanse all of you. Assuming all of you have this. I hope not, but you never know. Still petting Midori, by the way. Hasn't let her go.
I'm just sitting there, fine with it.
It's like when a dog walks up to you in the sofa, you just keep petting it without thinking about it. Midori.
Man, that's one loud purr.
Sorry.
Okay.
The fart that shaked the foundations.
No!
Anywho.
Okay. Okay, we have a lot to think about, and we have a lot of ingredients that we need to buy and shit. I don't think that you will let us keep this crying focus.
Are you asking me if you can have it?
We.
Roll persuasion.
Why am I doing this?
Guidance!
Take roll.
Guidance is too late.
Outside.
Ooh.
Ooh! Oh! I rolled above a 10! I'm happy!
Actually rolled quite high.
What?
Well, I said you rolled quite high.
Oh, yeah.
Well... Well... Well...
I put Midori with her puppy eyes in front of me. I pop Luna out.
I hold Sam in my arms.
Well... I suppose that there's no harm in allowing you to have it, since we're gonna be on the same side of all this and we're gonna be fighting for the same. Yeah, why not?
Yay!
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do enjoy.
Midori, don't lose this.
I won't.
She will.
She will.
She will forget who she has crying now.
Yep.
It's the only time she'll ever use
It's
it.
okay.
And you'll buy a new one before she remembers you already have one. Just wait and see.
I'm waiting for a couple weeks from now. I would totally be scrying to save us if only I had that focus. I don't know when and I don't know how, but that will be what happens.
No.
Well, the thing is, if we mention it enough, maybe she'll remember.
Maybe.
I will remember.
So we have to shame Ruth into remembering herself.
I mean, the mark is still an issue.
No, it's not.
Well, it's better.
It's way better. But,
Getting on it.
well, the magic resistance you have.
Yep, I'm remembering it slowly but surely.
Indeed. Getting back into it. I appreciate everything that's happened. I do, however, think that we've done what we can for today, and I would like just a moment of your time, Galasil. And the rest of you, good day.
I have something to ask you as well.
Oh, really?
I can wait after Calasil. I want to do it in private. So, I'll just
Okay.
wait outside.
That's alright. Just wait outside and I'll get you.
I won't listen, I promise.
That's okay.
I'll go find the others.
Yep.
Okay, I'm ready. I just added that to the loot.
Give me a sec. I need to find my other notebook. Or rather, I need to page through it.
They're gonna kiss.
Then
Maybe. Wait for me before you go shopping.
I
Oh,
jump
the
up the
dog
window.
shopping.
I jump
She
up to
has
the
the
window and I
money.
start with So she can't go shopping. You have the money.
You
Right.
do, don't you?
I'm going to find Ursula.
That would be easier if you wait for me. I know where he is.
Okay.
I guess everyone is just here now.
well, you three are. So, she takes Calasil and, well, doesn't take anything, but walks with Calasil over to the window. Instead of just bringing them tomorrow, bring them around fairly early. And I'm guessing you have a fairly decent idea at this point who could have been corrupted by this weird influence. If you can give me a heads up who might be influenced beforehand tomorrow, that'll be nice.
Early morning. I mean, Midori is the most likely one.
Oh no.
I'm not so sure about the rest. I think they have been equally as resistant.
As who? Equal assistant to who?
The other three, Kushma, Tempest, and Usulia.
I see.
I'm not sure about if any of the, but Midori definitely had shown signs before.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. It's not pleasant, I'll put it that way. So knowing how many times it is helpful for preparations. Thank you.
No worry.
Have a good flight. She
Thank
gestures
you.
to the window.
How about? And should I be back later on for the project?
Yes. If you have any spells left you want to spend on this project, come back later.
I will do that, yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
She walks over to the other side of the room.
And thanks again for everything.
You're welcome. We're allies and you helped me, well, the group helped me greatly, so I owe you quite a bit.
And we owe you. And that's what friends are for, helping each other out.
I agree.
Whee! Plop.
She
What do you guys
opens-
talk about?
But you're very adorable.
Oh, can I go in?
I
In a
think
moment.
so.
She flies out the window and Krishma was on the other side of the room through the door. So you don't technically know that she's left at all.
Okay, then I'm just waiting.
A few moments later, though, I was about to say this as Midori excitedly asks about what Calcilo's doing. She walks over to the other side of the room and opens the door where Krishma is. You can come in.
Hi, I come in.
Okay. So, Corey, is this a hop into private chat, or is this a everybody can know but would have to pretend they don't know sort of thing?
It'll be funny if it's private.
Oh,
Oh,
Because I just think that might be... It's embarrassing anyway for Krishna, so let's go private. It'll be fun.
Okay. You guys, you
Is
can
it
listen,
about
but
your
don't.
girlfriend?
Oh, I can't move myself to the GM room. You need to
I know.
move me.
I had
I'm
to
waiting.
go through a bunch of steps to get to Discord.
Hey.
Maybe yeah. So, Krishma, what would you like to chat about?
Well, a bit. You know, when you were freed from the whip and all that stuff, you know, we've kind of gone through this. I tried to apologize and all that, and take it for what you did, for what you will. Whatever had happened, it happened. You requested something of me, and I didn't fulfill it. But I said I would once we got here. So
Do be more specific.
this is kind of why I want to do it in private. I grovel.
You hear her chuckle, but not as in a menacing kind of way, but just sort of amused.
Oh, that was embarrassing.
Good boy. You can stand up though.
Yep. Yes. Okay. That was... I mean... If that's what it takes to help patch up further what I've done before, so be it.
Krishma, your insecurities are driving you nuts. You should really just try and believe in yourself. And if that isn't sufficient, then believe in your friends.
I know, I want to do that. I really do. But like, the world just tells me that it's not happening. It's mind-numbing. I get that. That is actually kind of why I'm here, part 2.
Oh?
I feel like I want to help people, but I feel like I'm misguided. I'm just not hitting it right. When I'm doing it, I'm aiming it the wrong way. It's just like a beam I'm trying to fire, but I cannot control it. It's just too much. I just need something to focus it. And well, I'm not asking for like you to make me super powerful. I'm not asking for any power. In fact, all I just want is the chance to focus this. I just want you to open the door for me. Not asking.
You want to be one of my believers. Isn't that adorable?
You're a person of passion. I am a person of passion, in a different sense, but you know the connection is there. You're a
You say
leader
that,
of beast tribes.
but- I see what you're getting at, and I don't see why I would not allow you. I am not a person that would scorn forever. There's no reason for it. We've had some bad beef between us. You didn't believe in me. You thought I was evil. Called me a witch. Not a witch, a bitch, and some other things from time to time.
Mm-hmm. I did.
The thing is, though, you're not entirely wrong. But things change. People change.
People change, yes.
And now you'd like to change for the better.
I just, like, I've got my friends here. I've got my friend.
So you'd like to
She's back.
be a knight of mine. Shining symbol of everything
Not
good.
I just...
The knight on the white horse. The hero that rides in and saves
You're making it sound like...
the
want-
distressed
I want to do
damsels of
good,
the
okay? I
world.
want to do good, and I feel like I'm doing it wrong. I just need some help to focus this, right? And you have a lot of knowledge, a lot of skills. I just think, I'm not under your tutelage, but just like you're in the know on how to do some of the stuff I want to do. Yeah, this is weird.
Oh, I do understand what you're asking of me. You
I'm
want
not
to...
trying to be a knight. I'm just trying to save the world. I don't know, man.
Oh, don't worry. I understand. And don't worry. As long as my followers abide by a simple guideline that usually is not needed to be spoken, because those who do follow me tend to have the same thought process anyway, then as long as that's kept, you're fine. No oath required just yet.
I do have to. Are you talking about like doing the thing?
Oh, I'm
Like-
talking about giving you a mark of mine that'll allow you to draw upon the goodness of your heart, so to speak. I could do that. It wouldn't be
Cool.
that difficult, and it wouldn't hamper me in any case. In any way, rather. Not to mention, it's an amusing change of fate for me. I like this. The grumpy kitten who hated magic now asks the most gorgeous person in the world to gain
know.
magic from her.
Know how ass backward this sounds. I just want the door open so I can explore it.
The funny thing is, that sounds awfully euphemistic when you put it like that.
Why
It would
the
fit right
rules?
in. That also sounds
Alright.
euphemistic.
It does. Okay.
Little Kushma.
Yeah.
Have fun. You have my blessing.
I will put my mind to focus on this, I guess. I'll just try and... I'll do what I can. We're on the same side, so... I'm not going to bastardize what you're giving in any way. I promise.
Don't worry, you have the right mindset. You'll do just fine. She's just smiling, very amused. Not maliciously or anything like that, just amused.
You said to ignore my insecurities, but you're making me feel insecure right now. That's okay. That's okay.
Don't worry too much about that, don't have that effect on men.
I've done this for my friends, for Amira. I do this so I can save people. Yes. Thanks.
That's the right reason.
It's the only reason.
You'll get used to it over time, though. Don't expect everything to, and pardon the euphemistic word, come at once. You'll do fine. Trust in your friends, trust in yourself, and don't be too much of a twat, okay?
Yeah, I will not be a twat.
Good.
Alright.
Off you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go shop with my friends. Bye.
Right, let's hop
Thanks.
back into chat.
Harry and the hippogriff just flying through the air.
Okay, so what
Oh.
shenanigans have you been up to while things have happened?
Theories. Discussing theories and imagining
We're-
Ustalir on Neil's back having a
Theorizing
shot
that
at
Usulir and Neil are having a magical adventure right now.
Yeah.
Hello, Felix.
So,
Yeah.
the group is essentially split at this point. A bunch of things have happened, a lot of information has been gained, and it'll take a long time, I imagine, if things are to be discussed fully, and we do not have that time right now, as we have 10 minutes left of the session.
Only 10 minutes? Oh.
Yeah. So instead, we'll pick up at this precise moment next time,
No.
where
Damn.
Tempest and Uslia are well, have been shopping, so we'll get to them first. Then we'll get to Kelasil and Midori as Kelasil hops out the window, and then Kushma eventually after that.
I'll just find you guys.
That would be
I
the gist of it.
literally went out just to find Storm to bring her back. Because obviously I
Oh
don't
right,
have the
Storm,
bag
not
and stuff.
Store.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would just find her. I've just been training outside.
We're literally just gonna go find her and realize, hey, we've got stuff for you, maybe. Because we're friends and that now.
Okay.
Come
I will
have
say
a
though
look.
that you found out that she is at the very top of the steep. I want to say hill, that's the wrong word. Cliff. Of where that watchtower is.
Alright.
Up there talking
Well.
to someone you informed.
Good thing you have a griffin with you.
Good thing, right?
Indeed. But yeah, we will end it here for now and come back to
Okay.
the lore dumps next week.
No
Yes.
dumps next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The things and the stuff and all the stuff that happened.
And then Tachi can tell us how cursed we all are.
Yes. I also remembered that Tempest was behaving weirdly as well, so that I would have mentioned to Touch as well.
Well, no. But you can mention that when you come back.
I know. I'm just saying. This will be mentioned the next time.
Fun stuff to do.
I'm gonna get murdered.
And we ended the session.
Murdered.
Murdered.
Murdered. Alright. Fuck yeah, guys.
Yeah.
We
Fucking hell.
scried a lot, talked a lot,
I'm
took a
worried.
bath.
I got me a new sword.
Yes.
Ooh, you did. You did.
I got basically grave dug.
Grave dug.
You what?
digging the dirt from me.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
we wanted to know, so we did.
Yeah, sure did.
And hey, we saved 100 gold worth of ingredients
Thank goodness.
for the
By
scrying
begging.
thing.
That's a bonus.
Yes. And I have my dimension go back.
Yeah, nice.
And didn't
Yay!
lose your wish spell.
Congratulations.
And you're entrusting said object to Midori.
Yay!
Stay.
Yay? Question
Maybe.
mark?
I mean,
It stays
we
in
can
the
buy
bag.
the spell for me as well, but that's too much money.
Stays in the bag forever.
Stays in the bag till needed.
Yeah. Midori, have you written down that you have a scribing focus?
Yes.
Why was that
Why
an
is that
asking
a
yes?
question?
I'm doing it now.
Good thing I wrote it down in the loot table.
I'm gonna put it in my inventory.
Good. Because do keep in mind, if it's not written down anyway, the official ruling is you've lost it. So
That's
that
why I
mind.
always write the important shit down in the loot table as well.
Probably smart.
Do do ga 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 do ga.
Also remember, we still have a scale mail in the bag of holding that we might be able to sell. I don't know why we still have that.
I think we kept it as like a just in case.
Oh right, it is a backup in case somebody gets
Because
that
there's
on
been a
the shit
surprising
again.
amount of armor destroying things.
And we have 2 full sets of armor worth of mithril. What?
And I still also
Right.
have those 6
Clever.
lapis in the what was the? I still haven't done his unidentifiable gem.
We have
but
you? I have 6 lapis lazuli and 1 aqua
I
memory.
said we. Motherfucker.
Yes, we still have that. I put that into the market for selling stuff.
I mean, you have a lot of valuable stuff just in general.
We do
Yeah.
sell more stuff.
And we'll need a lot of shit for, you know,
Well, in general.
teleportation circle.
Back to
Alright.
planning. Let's go.
I assume I have to choose my second circle now.
Ooh, yes.
I kind of think that I should take Yanaris.
That's fair.
Sounds good.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, now after all that information, since we will be heading there eventually. I will take Yanaris, John.
Alright, yeah, now it is then.
Woo.
Yanaris. Teleportation circle. There we go.
It's just kind of fun to think that the one person who could have identified where Cyrus' combat style comes from left the room. The coincidence
Alright.
is massive. And to be
Uh,
fair, Midori could as well, but it's very unlikely with her.
Usulia about Cyrus
Cyrus and Yi.
Saya.
Or Saya, if you prefer to just say the first part.
Ciara. There we go.
But yeah, good game. And for those out in Streamland, thank you for watching. We will be back next week, same time as usual, continuing from this very moment. Unless anything out of the ordinary happens, of course.
I hope not.
Indeed. So, ciao for now.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.
Bye.